not playing a song. He's on the microphone. And then boom.
With Jason Ross.
No,
he didn't.
Yes,
he did.
He did.
Good morning, live from New York. It is Carmichael Dave, Jason Ross, Chris Verlaud, and it is a day after. Jason, it's the morning after what happened last night, and well, that's it for the season.
You done?
82-0 out the window.
Yeah. So my one projection is off, but new chance tomorrow to be closer to 81-1.
I want to warn you that I'm here in the lovely New York City offices of Huddersfield Town Football Club, and there was a special event this morning. It was, and I'm going to get it wrong. It was so special, I'm going to get it wrong. I know it wasn't People of the Caribbean Awareness Day, but it was something on. I know that's not what they called it, but it was like honoring our friends of Caribbean heritage, I think is the right way to put it, of which we have many members of the staff and all that stuff. So the way they did it, because it's 9 a.m. out here right now, the way they did is we had a Caribbean style breakfast that was catered in. And oh my gosh, it was so good. The rice, the sauces, some sort of chicken. I don't know what kind, but it was amazing. I love food from that neck of the woods. Also, my body right now is like, I don't expect these flavors this early in the morning. What time is it? And you've already got me on some weird time zone, and now you got all these spices, and I think I'm gonna make some noise.
Wow. Your body has an accent?
Yes, my body is actually from the South. I was born and raised in a small, poor village east of Mississippi. We met up not that long ago when I was a child, and ever since we have bonded. But yeah, so I wouldn't say it's a bad thing. It's not your normal, like you and I'll say, oh, the stomach is hurt. It's not that. It's I'm getting the occasional needle in the gastrointestinal area, and I don't know if it's just, hey, I'm just trying to digest this food. What time is it? And what are we going home, or are we going back to England? But I'll say, not yet, but soon enough, Jason. I think it'll be a good thing that we're not sharing a studio,
and possibly, just let us know if that inner voice is calling to a point where, sometimes quick exits are needed.
I've got a remote microphone I can hook up. Bathroom trailer. I'll keep doing the show.
It'll be like the Naked Gun scene.
I was actually talking to a friend of mine out here, and he said that happened to him about 20 years ago, that they had what's called a lav mic, which is you get a little like a battery pack that goes in your pocket, followed by a wire, and then a little microphone that you clip to your lapel. A lot of times if you see like a news magazine, like a 60 Minutes interview or a reporter, a lot of times they'll have, if you look at their collar, they'll have this very indescript microphone. And he was wearing one because there were multiple people speaking at this 200-person event. And then he walked off stage and forgot he had. I just got told the story a day ago. He forgot he had the mic on, and he goes, "Hey, where's your bathroom at?" And then some guy was like, "Oh," he goes, "Man, I got to take a leak." And so he goes in and just proceeds to Leslie Nielsen the whole thing. And I guess apparently they didn't know how to pot it down, the sound. So he's in there, la la la, and I guess somebody rushed in and just ripped the battery pack out of his pocket. Said, "Hey, gotcha." And then I said, "Well, how'd the date end? Did you go back in?" He goes, "I had to go back in. All my stuff was in there, and we still had the milling about and networking to do." He goes, "I walked back in, and the entire room, about 200 people were waiting. They gave me a standing ovation."
I can only imagine being in the room knowing that someone's running in to take the battery pack. Like, wait, what's going on? Am I getting attacked?
Yeah, you're sitting there handling your business at the urinal, and all of a sudden, and it was somebody he knew, but comes in and just says, "Hey, don't mind me," reaches into his belt loop, pulls the pack out, and disconnects the mic. But of course, all that went over there too. And I got to say, I mean, it was. I told him, I said, "Well, at least it was number one," because that could have been a whole different
Right.
ballgame.
Right. Absolutely.
Anyway, I'm very excited, although the Kings did lose, to join you once again today. In case you're wondering, and you probably aren't, as soon as we're done here, it's back across the pond for tomorrow's match, and then we finish up our stuff. And then, Jason, I am departing Leeds Bradford Airport at 8:35 in the morning on Sunday. That's 8:35 in the morning England time. And then it's about a 2-hour flight to Dublin, then a 2-hour layover in Dublin, and then 11 hours on the nose from Dublin to San Francisco. Then about 2 hours with baggage, and by baggage I mean emotional, to my house, which will put me home. I'm guesstimating to my wife, I will walk in the door somewhere around 7 p.m. Sunday night.
Wow.
After leaving at what I guess the equivalent would be 12:35 in the morning California time. And then I'm coming in. I'm coming in Monday, dude. That's the plan.
Coming in hot.
Coming in hot with candy, Chris's candy, some barrister wigs, if you will.
Oh, I will.
Yeah. Yeah, so last chance to put your orders in, guys.
That was my request. Powdered wigs, and you've already sounded like you've come through on that. We've seen the candy display. You've come through on that. So yeah, we're going to be anxious to have you back on Monday. You were going to be one tired puppy on Monday morning.
Every time I go over, so this is all filled with. I'm for those of you listening on the radio. Sorry, I'm holding up a giant bag, Huddersfield Town bag, that I don't know if you can tell, Jason, but it is so full of gear that they gave me a second bag that has the leftover gear that they couldn't fit, including these wonderful Huddersfield Town bottles that I think you put water in and stuff. So I might have a couple other things for you.
There you go. Look at that.
Yeah. You, speaking of tired, last night was your first do the game, with the exquisite Gary Gerald.
Yes.
And then you did the post game, and now you're back in, and you have told me privately, and I think publicly many times, that if there is a challenge to doing mornings, it comes when you have a show the morning after a night game. So how are you doing this morning?
Good. It's better now when the cobwebs are partially out, like when the alarm first goes off. That I did have that feeling too this morning. So the alarm goes off. Okay. Yeah. What? Oh yeah. I know what I got to get up, got to do the show. And then there's that little bit of fog where you're going, wait, I don't quite feel right. Not health wise, but just like, oh,
right.
Why am I? Oh, yeah, the Kings lost last night. Like, because you're not right away, you're just kind of a little bit out of it. And then you go, oh, man, oh, that's right. Oh, they should have won that or could have won that game. I don't know if I'll say should. We'll go through that today. But there was that little bit of, wait, why am I not quite? Oh yeah, darn it. So, but knowing that we're going to talk about it today and lots of things to talk about that game, but yeah, that was the part that I would say I don't miss. But sometimes I'll wake up the reverse, where you wake up and you're like, hey, why am I? Oh, what a win last night, that kind of thing. And that moment of is a better moment when you realize what had happened the night before as opposed to what happened last night.
If your afternoon was a pasta, would it be macaroni and cheese
Today? I wish, but shortly after we are done today, I will be heading home and then right to the airport. Stingers up on the way to Pocatello, Idaho.
Let me tell you about Pocatello, Idaho. It is honestly an underrated. You thought I was probably going to say something bad. Pocatello, Idaho is actually a really underrated town. There is a barbecue place named Big John's that has, those dinosaur meat ribs. They smoke them for 24 hours and they serve them with what's called a jacket potato. It's usually an oak potato. You can get like brisket in it or baked beans. And the Pocatello Symphony, if you haven't seen or heard it before, which is directly across the street in the stadium they have there, not the football stadium, but the arts stadium, is absolutely amazing. So here's what I want you to do. Go to Big John's, get yourself some of those dinosaur ribs, maybe go check out the Symphony. They do have a matinee, and then take a walk on the river. They actually have a river walk out there. Maybe go to the top of the Sears building and sit in the park. It's a beautiful, beautiful location in the middle of Idaho.
We're really lucky this year. The game is being played at the Art Stadium.
Is it really? Oh,
yes.
Jason, the acoustics for all the hits.
Yes.
No, I've never been there. I assume
it will be flying everywhere.
All over the place. Well, Stingers up. Go in there and get a win. And in the meantime, we're going to get a win for all of our listeners, Jason. As I understand it, and please explain to everybody, we have a giant show planned today.
We do, and so it's Friday, so we got to get everybody used to the regulars. That means we will wrap the show up with some Friday fun and games. Along the way, let's take you through a journey, maybe at 9 o'clock if you're interested. The Niners play the Cowboys this weekend, and we've got the voice of the 49ers, Greg Papa, on with us, who missed you last week, so he's glad you're back. Along the way, though, we'll take a journey through some regulars like leading off and 4 down territory, 3 for madness, all those kind of things. At 8 o'clock, our Sacktown Sports Insider, Kings Insider, Brendan Nunez will join us. And it's fantasy football time. We got to get you ready as well for this week with Dave Richard. And coming up later this hour, Dave, you probably see it on the rundown. This is what we're calling it. We'll see if it lasts. We'll see if it's a one-hit wonder, maybe not even a hit wonder, or if it's a regular staple after Kings games. But we're going to call it the debut of Kings Rewind. So Kings Rewind's coming up, a segment you don't even know. I mean, you probably have an idea of what it is, but yeah, that's coming up a little bit later in the show as well, or pretty soon in a couple segments.
I have no idea what's going on. I don't know anything about Kings Rewind. If it's highlights of the Kings backwards, I'm in automatically, but I assume it's probably something much more professional. And listen to all that. Then you got Niners Dallas tonight, or tonight. That's Sunday Night Football, isn't it?
Sunday Night Football. Also some safer out with the World Series. The World Series.
The world.
In a world.
Okay. I'm ready, dude. I got my pants on and everything.
Wow. Okay. Well, let's do it. What do you say we just take a quick break, real quick, and let's come back and let's get this show started with leading off. It's coming your way next.
The Beam Team plays here.
How many times I seen that beam lit up when I was chilling at home? What's the significance of pushing this button? Like I said, when it solves off.
We live and breathe Sacramento Kings basketball.
Live and local with the Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross, Stiles and Watkins, and the Drive Guys.
This is your home for the Sacramento Kings. Sacktown Sports 1140.
What's up? We're talking to Chad Hoblet of Hoblet Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram in Woodland. How are you celebrating Jeep Adventure Days?
By helping you save up to $16,000 off MSRP on all remaining new 2024 Jeep Grand Cherokee 4xEs. Plus, a lifetime of savings at the pump with 56 MPGE.
Oh, wow, that's huge savings, especially as gas prices seem to be going up and up again.
But that's not it. We have over 200 quality used cars available and 46 under $20,000 at the new Hoblet Certified Pre-Owned Supercenter in historic downtown Woodland.
If you need a vehicle, new or used, your first stop needs to be at Hoblet. You won't find bigger savings on a better selection of vehicles anywhere. Search, select, and save through their whole inventory at HobletDodge.com. Unbeatable prices, unbeatable selection. Nobody beats Hoblet, period.
$16,000 total net savings on select new 2024 Jeep Grand Cherokee 4xEs after $4,750 dealer discount and $11,250 factory and federal rebates. Rebates include $7,500 national retail consumer cash and $3,750 federal EV tax credit, subject to third-party terms and availability. Consult a tax professional for details. At least 5% savings. See dealer for details.
Capital Casino, conveniently located on 411th North 16th Street in downtown Sacramento.
Let's do it. Leading off the 3 top stories in the morning.
Huge news. This is very important.
Here's cut number 1.
2.4 to go. Kings down by 2. Skip pass, cross court. Keegan, double clutch 3 for the win, and it rims out. He had that extra hesitation as the defender went running by on a flyby, but then he was forced into almost a double clutch, and it rimmed out. And the Kings are denied an opening night win in front of a sellout crowd of 18,049. The final score, 117-115, as Minnesota evens its record at 1-1.
Dave, you heard it there. I mean, it's a loss. Understandable. We'll tell everybody what happened, why, and all that. I just felt like they disappointed the G-Man.
It was disappointed G-Man, and the Kings now have a 7-game losing streak that they've got to try to crack. I'll tell you one thing that surprised me, though, especially on social media, which is a sentence you rarely say, but I would just like to point out, and I'm going to be a little snarky here, but the amount of people that are surprised that Julius Randle had 33 points last night. I just like to point out here for a second that all you what's and what's is when I dared bring up the idea of acquiring Julius Randle in the offseason, when you knew he was going to go somewhere, the Knicks weren't going to hold on to him. And boy, was it just a lot of, no, he sucks. He's terrible. The Knicks did so well without him. He's the worst. Oh my God. I ran a poll once, Jason, over the summer. And it was like, would you be cool with acquiring? And I think the deal was like Kevin Huerter and maybe another player, a lesser player on the roster, and a couple of future firsts for Julius Randle. I was like, no. And by the way, I'm not saying that's cheap either. But it was an overwhelming, even if it was my favorite responses were, even if it was just straight up for Huerter, even if it was a second round pick, I wouldn't want his salary. He's a cancer. He's this, he's that. Well, he's also a 2-time recent All-Star with the exception of 2 seasons. His very first season out of Kentucky with the Lakers, where he broke his leg like a minute into the game. And then I think last year, the guy's been pretty damn durable. He's a multi-time All-Star. He's a hell of a talent. We talked about it on the show yesterday, Jason. There's gonna be some matchup advantages for Minnesota, but overall, and I know we've got 4 hours to break this thing down. I don't want to spit it all out at once. Shockingly, a little bit of a third quarter meltdown, which not meltdown, letdown.
Yeah,
and that's weird because we've never seen that before with this team.
Are you sure in that poll that you put out on social media you didn't attach Ben Simmons along there on that one?
Dude, I'm telling it's I honestly did have a couple of people. It's funny you say that. Say your obsession with Julius Randle is almost as bad as your obsession with Ben Simmons, and they're not that far apart as far as being a terrible player. And I completely, the Ben Simmons thing's almost a bit now. Like I get it. But I don't know where it came around that Julius Randle sucks. He does not. He does not. He is a fantastic player. He's an all-star caliber player. And he carried that team last night on a night where Anthony Edwards went 10 to 24. I honestly think, and again, Randle and Naz Reid were the 2 biggest cogs to that squad last night. And on to the next one.
Yeah. And again, I know we'll go into much more detail into all of this, but I thought the one other, sometimes I don't know that we need the reminder, but maybe I'm saying this for myself. Watching them play the first game, they didn't look very good, but that was their first game. And in that game, it's like, man, Edwards looks great, but if Randall doesn't score, how's this team going to score? And then last night, Randall scored early and often, and then Edwards got going, Naz Reid. You're like, okay, I see it. It was the league's #1 defense last year. DiVincenzo, like there's pieces now you could see why Minnesota could be good again. And also, I would say the Kings too. Now, ultimately, they lost, but we'll get into this much more, Dave, throughout. But let's get to cut number 2.
Cut number 2.
Matthew Stafford on 3rd down, victory formation, takes the snap, takes the knee, and Sean McVay is the winningest head coach in Rams history. 30-20 is the final.
I didn't know that.
I didn't know that either.
Yeah. Here come my Rams. I don't know why they're my Rams, but that was the team I was kind of watching out for. Then when they started, I'm like, ew, that's a big miss. But 3-4, winners of 2 straight. And funny what happens when, I don't know, Cooper Kupp, Puka Nacua come back. They do look a little better. That was a nice win for them over the Vikings.
That was a nice win. Look, Justin Jefferson was great as always, and I don't think the Vikings. I didn't look at that game and say, "Oh, the Vikings played horrible." But yeah, it's weird. Cooper Kupp and Puka Nacua, they make a bit of a difference on a squad when they're both healthy. And I thought about you last night, Jason, because you did get on that Rams bandwagon, and I'm not trying to say that they're here to win a championship or anything now, but they look good. And the Vikings now, all of a sudden, Jason, the Vikings, losers of 2 in a row. Is this shades of the 10-0 Steelers from a few years ago? Are they a flash in the pan, or is there something there?
Yeah, I call it the Rams wagon, not a bandwagon. And Dave, as a Niner fan, any concern that they are now in last place?
I mean
them, the Rams, Cardinals, all 3-4. They're all right there.
Why would you say that? Yeah, not say that, Jason.
I'm just piling on, so the rest of the show will just feel like nothing can stop you.
Yeah. Well, hey, we lead the division in point differential at +22.
Yeah, so take that, Seattle.
Yeah. Also, I know what's coming up at cut number 3. Can I just say something that I think all of sports media, including ourselves missed after the opening night matchups is, everyone's talking about the whole Bronny James coming in thing and blah, 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 and thought Bronny would not, aren't impressed with him. Let's say that much, right? Did you know, though, Jason Ross, Tuesday night, LeBron James and LeBron James Jr. became the highest scoring father-son duo in NBA history.
Oh, that part wasn't really reported.
No, it wasn't. The Currys combined for about 36,000 points. Steph and Dell, Kobe and Joe Jellybean Bryant, rest both their souls, combined for about 39,000. LeBron James and LeBron James Jr. have combined for 40,490 points. The all-time father-son scoring duo leader. And you heard that exclusively on Sacktown Sports. And they said Bronny wouldn't make it, man. They said it was a dream, and here we are.
I mean, it takes both of them. It takes both of them to get that stat.
I would go one step further before we get to cut number 3 on Tuesday night. LeBron James, Bronny James, and me became the highest scoring father-son broadcaster duo of all time as well.
Relation to the family, just broadcaster or any other connections?
Nope, just broadcaster, but I can tell you this much. LeBron James Jr., and myself have combined for 40,490 points in the NBA. And I will tell you this much. I have scored as many as Bronny.
Wow. And did you know that LeBron played his first game in Sacramento?
That I keep hearing that. That's a lie. It never happened. That's a urban myth, Jason. By the way, why isn't it a country myth?
We'll have to fact check all of these things. Our fact checkers will be on this before the end. All right, let's get to one final cut in the leading off.
Cut number 3.
And the 1-2. Swung on, a high fly to center. Back goes Thomas on the track. He's at the wall, and she's gone. A 3-run home run. The Yankee bench comes on the field. Wow, what a Soto photo. A long, high fly to deep right center and out.
Did he say Soto photo or Soto Bodo?
I think both.
Okay.
I think
World
both.
Series, Game 1 tonight. Yankees battle the Dodgers in Los Angeles. Dave, the lifelong Yankee fan, is rooting for his New York Yankees tonight. Correct, Dave?
Oh, the pinstripes are flying. I actually went out last night here in New York because they were doing it cheaply. I actually got pinstripes tattooed on my entire lower body, so I now permanently have the pinstripes. I got a 7 too, but I won't tell you where that's at. Yankees Dodgers tonight. We've got Safer Out coming up shortly and a couple of other things, but it does seem like baseball kind of ended, and now it's back for some reason. Oh yeah, they have to determine a champion. We'll see if the Yankees can add to their long-standing record when it comes to championships, or if the Dodgers can really win their first non-Mickey Mouse title since the 80s.
Shots fired.
It'll be shots fired. That's right. It'll be interesting. And let's put it this way, Jason. This World Series is going to be baseball as popular as it possibly can be, and as loud and crazy an atmosphere as it possibly. Like, baseball can't do better than the Dodgers and Yankees. If they handpicked opponents, they couldn't do better than this.
Yeah, they've got what you would say what they want. We'll see if it does net any kind of results in ratings and future excitement for the sport. And kind of speaking of that, Dave, we're going to do a little improv here and shift some things on the fly. It sounds like we are now going to have Safer Out next. The debut of our Kings Rewind will be one more segment away. We got to get everybody in character and everybody in their proper attire for that. So we need a little extra time. Do
I need to change clothes or something? Is it
we'll send this secret text your way to let you know what the rules and regs are. But with that said, that's leading off. When we come back, we will go Safer Out. Yes, the World Series begins tonight, Yankees and Dodgers, and obviously it's very centric to that, and Safer Out coming your way next.
Subscribe to Sacktown Sports on YouTube and watch the Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross, Stiles and Watkins, and the Drive Guys. Live Monday through Friday from 6 to 6. Plus view archive shows and exclusive content.
Subscribe at youtube.com/Sacktown Sports.
Sacramento weather is brought to you by Elk Grove Honda.
I'm Dirk Verdorn in the KCRA3 Weather Center, and we are going to see a few clouds this morning, but expect to have clouds decreasing this afternoon with temperatures warming into the lower 80s. Get the latest forecasts on the KCRA3 News and the KCRA3 app.
At Elk Grove Honda, we've acquired some of the best pre-owned cars we can find. Whether you purchase a new Honda or a like-new pre-owned Honda, Elk Grove Honda has the right Honda at the right price. In the Elk Grove Auto Mall, Highway 99 and Elk Grove Boulevard, or elkgrovehonda.com.
I gotta get an Elk Grove Honda.
Hey, it's Carmichael Dave for American Energy Heating and Air with a question. Have you recently had a technician diagnose your HVAC system and you were a bit surprised at how much it cost? Or did something seem off about their quote? Because at American Energy, they take pride in giving you honest, straightforward solutions to get that system up and running. Have their qualified technicians come out and give you a free second opinion. It's free. You got nothing to lose but some dollars off of that original quote. They're making the uncomfortable comfortable. They've been doing it since 1981, serving the greater Sacramento area. A+ with the Better Business Bureau. That's why they keep having customers coming back for more and more and more. You can call them and set that appointment at 916-520-9990. That's 916-520-9990 or AmericanEnergyAir.com.
Call 916-520-9990 now.
Don't let summer energy slip away. Live the active life you love year-round with a personally fit arch support system from the Good Feet store. Precision engineered to support all four arches. Good Feet puts your feet in a more ideal, comfortable, and pain-free position. And Good Feet arch supports are now HSA and FSA eligible. Book a free fitting at goodfeet.com or come in and get a free pair of OS First Performance socks. Free. Normally a $25 value at the Good Feet store. Store.
Welcome back to another exciting game day. Grab your rally towels, throw on your jerseys, cheer, shout, and save on your gas. That's right, sports fans win big on home game days. Score instant savings of 25 cents per gallon on Shell V-Power Nitro Plus Premium Gasoline with the Fuel Rewards program. And that's a victory for you and your tailgate team. Download the app, join the Fuel Rewards program today, and game on. Restrictions apply. Limited time. And participating Shell stations. For more details, visit fuelrewards.com.
NBAstore.com, the official online store of the NBA. And the world's largest selection of officially licensed NBA fan gear. With unique designs by Fanatics, Nike, and all the latest styles for every NBA team. Plus, one-of-a-kind products and authentic collectibles. Shop now and get today's special offer. NBAstore.com, a Fanatics experience.
Hi, I'm Justin Gingery. One of the most common questions I receive is what makes us different from other law firms. At Gingery, Hammer & Associates, we handle your case from beginning to end. Whether your case reaches a settlement, whether we need to file suit, or even take it all the way to trial. We will be with you along the entire way, and because we are committed to you and your case, we are as invested as you are in making sure you get the outcome you deserve. If you have an injury, just call Gingery.
Hi, this is Greg Papa. Disasters hit every day. If your home, business, or building has suffered from any disaster, SunPoint Public Adjusters can help. SunPoint prepares, presents, and negotiates your claim with the insurance company, working only for you, making sure you get everything you're entitled to and letting your focus be on what's most important, your family or your business. Call SunPoint today at 888-247-7865 or contact us at sunpoint.us. SunPoint Public Adjusters, the gold standard in public adjusting.
License number 2N14884.
All guests come to you from the Folsom Lake Honda hotline. Folsom Lake Honda, your one-stop Honda shop.
Safe or out? It's time to go around baseball. 3 pitches, 3 swings. It's safe or out on the Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross.
All right, David, is safe or out time. Do want a reminder that we have the debut of Kings Rewind coming up in our next segment, and another debut. It's back. The Jiffy Lube Drive of the Game, Dave, is coming back. That'll be at 7:43 today. If you heard it during the game last night, we know you did. Will be the correct caller when that happens, coming up a little bit later next hour to identify the Jiffy Lube Drive of the Game.
I'm so excited. I've waited 6+ months for the Jiffy Lube Drive of the Game. Jiffy Lube does so much for us and for the community. I cannot wait, Jason Ross, but super excited to talk about your New York Yankees, the hated LA Dodgers, and baseball with Christopher Lott.
All right, let's do it, Chris. First one.
Safe or out, the Yankees will take game 1 tonight.
Oh, smells like McMuffins in here. Let's see. I'm going to say safe. I think the Yankees are going to get the opening road win. I do. I think the Dodgers will get one in New York too. But I do think they're going to get the win tonight. I actually do.
I never tell you how much I like you, Dave.
Well, wait till later with Free for Madness.
I know it's coming. I know it's on the horizon. Yeah, I'm going to say safe as well. They probably need to get game 1. Not that game 1 dictates, the entirety of it, but if there is an advantage for New York, it would be they have the best pitcher, at least traditionally in this series. Garrett Cole, he may not pitch the best today or in the series, but going in where you go, man, the Yankees ace is better than the Dodgers ace. Now, Flaherty can outpitch him today. We know that as a fact. That's just the way baseball goes. But if the Yankees want to win this series, you're going to have multiple outings likely with Cole. And so this is their best chance. See if they can slow down that Dodgers offense and get their own offense going against the Dodgers. So, yeah, I will say safe. Part of that is certainly Homer, but I also am thinking advantage-wise with Garrett Cole pitching today. All right, question 2, Chris.
Safe or out, the Dodgers will win the World Series.
I hate to say it. I do.
You don't have to.
You know it pains me. You know it pains me, Jason. You know it pains me, but if there's one thing you have to say about the Dodgers is that when it comes to the postseason, they are just so damn good. Wait a minute. Never mind. I'm talking about the Dodgers. That's an out, baby. I fooled you. That's an out. Of course the Dodgers aren't going to win the World Series. It's the Dodgers. They pile up a big, giant, expensive team. They get to the postseason, and they blow it. The only thing I'm waiting on, do we know, is Kershaw going to pitch it all in this series? Because if they are, that's a guaranteed L right there. Look, the Yankees are the Yankees. They're built for the postseason. The Dodgers are built for the regular season. I think the Yankees win this series, and I think they win it in 6.
Okay, I don't even know that I can be rational and judgment. I mean, I just can't pick against the Yankees, so I'm going to say that's out. You're right. I'm with you on that. I don't think the Dodgers will do it, but I mean, I'm looking at this 100% through Yankees glasses. I know the Dodgers are very good. I know that they have the makeup and the team that can do it. I'm just hoping that finally this is the year from this group of Yankees. I know it hasn't been that long in the grand scheme of things, but they're due. Let's do it. I say that is out. No Dodgers in this one. All right.
And you're not one of those, you're not like me where you're not going to do like the double reverse jinx and be like, no way did the Yankees win. No, they can't win. No.
I'm saying I'm trying to throw out I'm speaking it into existence the other way around.
Gotcha.
All right, let's go to the third one here on Safer Out.
Safer out. The World Series MVP will not be one of the big stars.
Safe. I think it's just isn't it just that way? It doesn't mean that big stars aren't World Series MVPs, but how often is it that it's the Craig Counsell or the David Eckstein or the whoever? It just seems to always go that way. And Jason, if we go, well, let's just see. Maybe I don't know what I'm talking about. All right, 2023, Corey Seager. The year before that, Jeremy Pena, Jorge Soler, Corey Seager again, Steven Strasburg, Steve Pearce. Remember Steve Pearce of the Boston Red Sox?
Wow.
George Springer, Ben Zobrist, Salvador Perez, Sally Perez, and then, of course, Mad Bum and all that. David Freese in 2011, Edgar Renteria in 2010, Mike Lowell in 2007. There's David Eckstein, Vallejo or Vacaville, I believe, owned Jermaine Dye. My point is this. Yeah, there's Jeters and Rivera's and Randy Johnsons and Kurt Schillings. But it really is kind of a coin flip as to whether or not it'll be a big star or just a dude who gets hot.
Yeah, I think it's this is safe as well. That's just the nature. You just brought it up. I was looking back even at the Dodgers Yankees series from the late 70s, early 80s when they faced in 77, 78, and 81. And Reggie's in there as an MVP. So that's one of the big stars between the two teams. But the other two, I think the Dodgers had a with Steve Yeager and Pedro Guerrero. And then the Yankees won when they beat the Dodgers was Bucky Dent. So, I mean, these two teams were filled with stars back then. And Reggie got one. But, yeah, even though there's Shohei and Judge and Betts, Freeman, Stanton, Soto, I mean, yeah, we're probably looking at like Muncy or Volpe or just I think it's going to be someone else. It's just the way the sport goes. And it could be that other person got a big hit that won a game and then also happened to bat like 4-12. It's just you just don't know how it's going to go, but that's kind of the way it has in the history of baseball in these World Series.
All right, couple things before we break. I got to ask. Well, one I got to ask you, but I also want to acknowledge that one of our favorite people, Simone, the birth giver to Simone, her lovely mother is in the chat right now. So hello to her. And thank you so much for tuning in and listening. Secondly, let me give you a special bonus, safe or out. If you could pick one player in the World Series to be the World Series MVP, and it can't be Aaron Judge. Yeah, I know. Who would you pick?
I probably would pick Juan Soto because maybe that gives him the best chance to. I mean, I think he's coming back to the Yankees, and if they win and he's a big part of it, I think that helps, and I'd like to see him stick around for many, many years to come. So probably him. But my script, Dave, for the perfect World Series, the perfect one, would be a walk-off game winner, series winner in New York, Game 5 for Aaron Judge. Now he doesn't have to get the MVP, but if I'm like writing the script, that's my script.
Game 5. Wow. Aaron
Because
Judge.
it's what, 2-3-2? Yeah. So the last game in New York, Judge walks it off. The place just goes nuts. And yeah, that would be my script.
And Sacramento's Aaron Judge walks off the World Series.
Clearly.
Would you rather have it that way? Or what if I told you that you could either have, not Aaron Judge, but you could end it in 5? No, I guess that wouldn't work either, because then I was going to say, or you could have a walk-off in Game 7, but then that would obviously be the Dodgers.
Yeah, that would be horrible.
Because really the only, I can think of 2 walk-offs, one in our lifetime, the other before us, but, what was it? Joe Carter had the walk-off, but that was in Game 6, and I want to say the game was tied when he hit it. I could be wrong off of Mitch Williams. Bill Mazeroski is the only other one I could think of the Pirates, which was before our time. I would love to see, I mean, maybe not this year because the Dodgers will be at home, but my goodness, could you imagine like 4-3, bottom of the 9th, 2 on or 1 on, 2 outs, 3-1, 3-2 count, and somebody hits a 2-run jack to win the championship coming from behind. That I've never seen that in my life. I don't want to see that.
Yeah, that's why I still say of the great home runs in the history of baseball, I don't think Joe Carter's gets enough love. I mean, it won the World Series. There's been game walk-offs that have advanced the series, even to series, one game, whatever, but that one ended the World Series, and it's considered a great home run. But I think it should be way higher than it gets its kind of recognition for.
Well, and to your point, I know we got a break here, but wasn't it also? It's one of my favorite calls. What didn't he say? Like, touch 'em all, Joe. You'll never hit a bigger home run than that, or something like that.
Yeah, maybe that sounds familiar now. Yeah, because didn't he kind of like fumble around first base or something? I mean, he's just going nuts, which is totally understandable.
It was a hell of a call that I can't remember. Okay.
Well, we've got one final segment here in the opening hour and a lot more Kings to get to, including the debut of Kings Rewind. Let's see how this goes. Coming your way next.
The only place you'll find De'Aaron Fox is Sacktown Sports.
Spins away from the defender, in the paint, soft floater. That's a great play by De'Aaron Fox.
Hey, Sacramento, it's De'Aaron Fox, and you're listening to the home of the Sacramento Kings, Sacktown Sports.
Your local sports leader.
Where do you go when you need someone to represent you? For me, you want someone that is local and that you can actually get to and talk with. There are plenty of big branded lawyers out there with the name, but you never get to talk to them. So go to SacLegalDefense.com and connect with the law offices of Jonathan Gonzalez. He's local, he'll represent you, and he'll have your back. Whether it's expungements, wrongful termination, when you're in a spot when you need legal help, call the law offices of Jonathan Gonzalez at 916-304-9187.
Toyota's legendary truck event is on. Hurry in for $2,000 cash back on any 2024 Tundra, or choose a great lease on a new 2024 Tacoma 4x4. Get to your Toyota dealer today, because this truck event will be Toyota. Let's go places. Offer available to TFS providers with premium rated credit until 11/4/24.
I'm Bob Burke, founder and chairman of Burke America Parts Group, a family of brands that includes RepairClinic.com, an appliance and HVAC parts solution company that's grown into an international brand. Before AmericanEagle.com, we partially launched a new technology platform developed by another firm. American Eagle helped take our technology to a whole new level with digital marketing, software development, and business insights into our key markets, appliances, HVAC, and outdoor power equipment, and did so both on time and on budget. AmericanEagle.com has the resources, experience, and talent needed to produce solutions. Our new technology platform, developed by AmericanEagle.com, has produced tremendous results with higher traffic, conversion, engagement, and online revenue. If you have any home repairs you need to take care of, check us out at RepairClinic.com. If you need a world-class website or technology project, then I would highly recommend AmericanEagle.com.
Call AmericanEagle.com at 773-NETWORK. That's AmericanEagle.com, 773-NETWORK.
There's no need to be scared of auto maintenance this October. Your local Jiffy Lube has just the treats you need without the tricks, like fast oil changes or wiper blades for the upcoming rainy season. serving greater Sacramento area customers since 1984 with over 30 convenient locations to choose from. Open daily, early at 7:30 and open past 6 p.m. at most locations. Just visit jiffylube.com to find a location near you and valuable coupons to save money too.
It's time to load up your calendar with all the hottest events. This is your Sacktown Sports live events calendar. First up, all this month, take the family to Dave's Pumpkin Patch for hay rides, corn mazes, and fall fun for everyone. It's the perfect way to celebrate the season. Next, David Spade brings his sharp wit to Hard Rock Live Sacramento on November 22nd. And the comedy continues with a hilarious Russell Peters taking the stage at Hard Rock Live on November 23rd. And if you're looking for some legendary music, Legends of Motown will have you grooving to all your favorite classics at Thunder Valley on the same night, November 23rd. Then get festive with the Jersey Boys Midtown Men Holiday Show on December 8th at Thunder Valley. And kicking off the new year, Dylan Scott with Jackson Dean and Avery Anna are bringing their country hits to Thunder Valley on January 10th. So get out there and enjoy the best live events Sacramento has to offer. For tickets and event details, visit sacktownsports.com.
Thunder, feel the thunder. It ignites something inside of you. Lightning and the thunder. Sets alight an elevated state of being. Days are pure exhilaration. And the nights, they're simply electric. See it, hear it, feel it. Thunder, feel the thunder, lightning and the thunder. Thunder Valley Casino Resort. Feel the thunder.
Capital Casino, conveniently located on 411th North 16th Street in downtown Sacramento.
The Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross.
Call or text at 916-339-1140.
On Sacktown Sports.
Another reminder, in a few minutes, get your fantasy football questions ready for Dave Richard, as our CBS Sports fantasy guru will join us. Still to come, Brendan Nunez at 8, Greg Papa at 9, Friday Fun and Games. It's a jam-packed show, Carmichael Dave, today.
It is a jam-packed show, and this is we're here, and I think it's important, Jason, because I will spend time during the summer, whining profusely about our lack of content. We are here now, Jason. We have exactly, well, not exactly, but about a week and a half, 2 weeks. This is the golden time of the year. This is the only time of the year we're going to have college football, NFL football, Major League Baseball, NBA basketball, and I guess hockey, all going on at once, Jason. It is the prime time, and we need to just enjoy this, because coming up next, Halloween. I looked at the weather. I see that it's going to be in the 60s on Monday. You told that to me yesterday as well. Then Thanksgiving preparations. Then immediately after Thanksgiving, the Christmas lights go up. Next thing you know, Santa visits. It's New Year's Eve champagne and celebrations. And then we start the long road down to no content again. But right now it's great.
It is great.
You're already thinking about that.
I am. I don't like it. It's almost here.
Well, I don't know if this is going to help or hurt. We have intentions for this to help. This is something that Chris Verlot and I workshopped the other day, kind of on air and off air. And we are going to debut it for everybody, Dave, and for you as well, because you've been gone. So we obviously would have done this with you in mind here, but this is something that we will find out if it's going to be a regular staple of the show, or if we'll at times down the line go, remember when we tried that? Yeah, we tried that. So just, Chris, do we do any backdrop, or do we just go for it?
I say we just go for it.
Okay. Well, Dave, this is the debut of Kings Rewind. Okay. Well, the NBA officially opened its season on Tuesday as the defending champion Boston Celtics.
Beat down now, baby! Beat down! Beat down!
Yeah, they handled their business on the same night. An NBA legend made history in the first ever father-son duo to take the court together.
I am the father.
Wednesday, more teams broke the seal on their season, but really the entire NBA and world was waiting on the team from Sacramento to launch. They were waiting for their 2024-25 campaign to begin.
Ask not what your country can do for you. Ask what you can do for your country.
So let's take you to last night in Sacramento.
Sacramento, where you at?
That's the Golden One Center, recently voted the best arena in the entire league.
This is the height of luxury.
It's where the Sacramento Kings were hosting the Minnesota Timberwolves. Questions to start the 40th season of Kings basketball in the capital city. How would new piece DeMar DeRozan fit in?
Rose came home, y'all didn't deserve him neither.
Would Trey Lyles and Kevin Huerter be rusty after not playing in the preseason? To the action we go. The Kings scored the first point of the season. Sabonis with the honors. And Sacramento was off and running. The building electric. The crowd engaged and the action frenetic. Somewhere. As the Kings were up 32-29 after one. By halftime, the lead was 4, but no clear-cut separation. New Timberwolf Julius Randle looked lost in L.A., but was found in Northern California.
Randy!
He had 22 at the half, and the former All-Star looked the part.
Never lost.
After the break, the Kings would extend the lead to 12 with defense, Domas, and DeRozan. But by quarter's end, Minnesota had the lead by just a precious point entering the final 12 minutes. Back and forth action in the game's final quarter. The T-Wolves would build their largest lead of 6 points. The Kings would storm back.
No!
Tied with 2 minutes to go.
A hope, a chance.
Ties in the game's final 30 seconds. Ant-Man would knock down 2 free throws, and that left the Kings with less than 3 seconds and a chance to go for the tie or the win. They opted for the triple, and off the rim it goes.
No! God, please, no! 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 No!
0-1, and on to the next.
We suck again!
But next is a game in Los Angeles on Saturday, and hopefully for a win.
I hope so.
Okay. And there you go. There's our version of Kings Rewind. So maybe some tweaks, maybe no tweaks.
I think a couple tweaks.
So just so you know the premise, the script was written. Chris then was going to insert the drops. I had no idea what he was going to play. I knew where the drops were supposed to go. And maybe you and I, when you return, can have some fun with that along with Chris.
I think, okay, so first off, couple things. Number one, this Jason, I may not have this exact, but this reminded me right away a little bit of when you used to do updates on Coze's show, Jim Cozumore. And was it Coze that had somebody was playing was it Joe Pittman that was playing the animal effects?
Yeah, it was somebody. It was Joe or John Dickinson, or even maybe, I don't know if Chris, you were doing, maybe Sean Cunningham. Somebody was doing that in the background.
And then you would react on the fly.
Yeah.
The second thing is, but I love it. I was laughing my patootie off, but also, does Chris have the longevity? Because this is a very Chris-centric segment. He's the one doing the yeoman's work, Yo Person's work on all of that. Chris, do you have the ability to do that on a semi-regular basis?
I think so. It's one of those things of you don't know what you're going to be doing until you do it. I think I got a feel for it.
Yeah. So it all stemmed early. Or sorry, go ahead, Dave. Finish the third thought.
No, I was just going to say, and lastly, Chris, I sent you. Did you get the link I sent you?
I did.
I did. Do you any chance? You probably don't have it queued up, do you? Because I think there's a commercial at the start. Yeah, it very much reminded me of a Family Guy bit they did on radio with quite a few sound effects, which, by the way, absolutely killed me as well. Overall, you know me, 9.5 out of 10.
There we go.
And the only reason I took away the half is because I think we were missing frenetic and one other thing, but that's just functional stuff.
It's one of the things that I got to get my hotkeys dialed in. You know what? If we have time for it, maybe give it another go.
we could bring it back if we need to. So I was talking about it earlier in the week, and we got to go here, but the Jim Healy Show was a show that was in Los Angeles. Same kind of general, I don't know, it's a little bit of a hat tip to that. And I was talking about that show, and it was way back in the 70s and 80s and even part of the early 90s. But I thought maybe there's a way we could do something like that. So Chris and I were talking. Anyway, so we landed here. We'll see if that's something that we can keep going forward. But it looks like the people liked it, so that's good.
It's funny because I honestly thought I actually heard that segment you were doing about the show you used to listen to.
Oh, okay.
And so when you mentioned you were going to do something today, I honestly thought, my guess is that you were going to, because I like this idea too, that you were going to introduce the teletype sounder and do some sort of news segment. Yeah, exactly. So that's good. Now we can screw around with a bunch of stuff. I liked it. I hope we bring it back. And most importantly, it's content that's easy to do for us and not for Chris, Jason.
Yeah, and I think it'll be a lot more enjoyable the next time the Kings win. Hopefully that's soon. We break here. We'll come back. Hour number 2, fantasy football. Dave Richard, you got your questions? Send them in right now. We talk to Dave Richard next.
Did you miss any part of our live local shows? Don't worry, you never have to miss them again. Check out SacktownSports.com and search our podcast page and play our shows when you want. The Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross, Stiles and Watkins, and the Drive Guys. Plus, other podcasts like Return of the Empire, Return of the Roar, the Stingers Up podcast, and Golf to Go with Frank LaRosa.
They're all available right now on SacktownSports.com.
Wendy's breakfast burrito has an entire breakfast in every bite. Fresh cracked eggs, seasoned potatoes, American cheese, cheese sauce, and sausage or bacon. So the first bite is like fresh American cheese sauce. Bacon. And the second bite is like fresh American cheese sauce. Bacon. You get the idea. And now get yours with $1 any size soft drink. Gotta be Wendy's.
Limited time only. Price and participation may vary. Not valid in a combo. Exclusions apply.
Did you know your skin is the largest organ of your body? Huh? That's why you should shower with Old Spice Super Hydration Body Wash instead of plain old bar soap. Love your skin by super hydrating it with vitamin B3 and glorious notes of vanilla and shea. Did you know that my super hydrated skin is the second largest organ of my body?
At Elk Grove Honda, we've acquired some of the best pre-owned cars we can find. Whether you purchase a new Honda or a like-new pre-owned Honda, Elk Grove Honda has the right Honda at the right price. In the Elk Grove Auto Mall, Highway 99 and Elk Grove Boulevard, or elkgrovehonda.com.
I gotta get an Elk Grove Honda.
Insurance companies perform a very valuable service, but they want to keep their money. Although most cases settle before trial, it is paramount that the insurance companies know that if pressed, your legal team has the experience to take your case all the way. For 25 years, Ashton & Price has earned the reputation that if the insurance company isn't fair, we're ready to force them to be fair. My mom used to warn me, wait till dad gets home. Think of us as dad. The best part, there's no fee until we win.
Remember, for the best advice, don't think twice. Call Ashton & Price.
Welcome back to another exciting game day. Grab your rally towels, throw on your jerseys, cheer, shout, and save on your gas. That's right. Sports fans win big on home game days. Score instant savings of 25 cents per gallon on Shell V-Power Nitro Plus Premium Gasoline with the Fuel Rewards program. And that's a victory for you and your tailgate team. Download the app, join the Fuel Rewards program today, and game on. Restrictions apply. Limited time. At participating Shell stations. For more details, visit fuelrewards.com.
It's Capital Casino, Sacramento's #1 poker room. And guess what? Primetime football is back. Capital Casino is giving away $500 per game in high-hand bonuses for every Sunday, Monday, and Thursday night primetime game. As always, offering the best food, the best service, and the best action with the most variety of games in the region, conveniently located in downtown Sacramento. So check them out, Capital Casino, and always remember to gamble responsibly. 1-800-GAMBLER.
Don't you deserve healthcare you can count on? Well, you can count on United Healthcare with Medicare plans that fit your life today and as your needs change tomorrow. You can enjoy reliable coverage and low out-of-pocket costs with a Medicare Advantage plan from United Healthcare. United Healthcare Medicare Advantage plans, made for California, trusted everywhere. The Medicare annual enrollment period ends December 7th, so go to uhc.com/Medicare today.
This season, get premium tech that inspires joy from Dell Technologies. Bring projects to life with the XPS 16. It delivers supercharged processing for enhanced productivity and freedom to express yourself. Performance-class Dell PCs with Intel Core Ultra processors deliver a dedicated engine to help accelerate AI. Enjoy free shipping, Dell rewards, and expert support. When you get a Dell PC with AI, it gives back. Shop now at Dell.com/deals.
Every 4 years, the world watches every corner kick, every save, every pass. The world watches its most beautiful game played at its highest level. And for a moment, the world stops turning for soccer. Bank of America is proud to be the official bank sponsor of FIFA World Cup 2026, supporting possibilities turned into achievements on the biggest stage. What would you like the power to do? Bank of America N.A. member FDIC.
Model year-end pricing is back at Folsom Lake Honda, your one-stop Honda shop.
During the model year-end event, lower interest rates at Folsom Lake Honda make lower payments. It's no wonder why Folsom Lake Honda is your one-stop Honda shop. Come in today or check out our entire inventory online at folsomlakehonda.com.
Get an instant cash offer for your trade at folsomlakehonda.com. We'll buy your car whether you buy from us or not. Folsom Lake Honda is your one-stop Honda shop.
Folsom Lake Honda. Go to folsomlakehonda.com. Your one-stop Honda shop.
All guests come to you from the Folsom Lake Honda hotline. Folsom Lake Honda, your one-stop Honda shop.
KHTK HD1 Sacramento, KYMX HD3 Sacramento.
From the Power Business Technology Toshiba Studios.
Sacktown Sports 1140.
The Carmichael Dave Show.
He's on the microphone when he's not on the microphone. He's playing a song, and when he's not playing a song, he's on the microphone, and then boom.
With Jason Ross.
No, he didn't. Yes, he did.
Call or text at 916-339-1140.
It's the Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross on Sacktown Sports.
All right, second hour of our Friday show is here. Jason Ross, Carmichael Dave. But Dave, it's 7 o'clock Friday. We got to bring in our guy, get our fantasy football questions answered from CBS Sports. Dave Richard joining us. Dave, good morning.
Gentlemen, it is a splendid week, is it not?
It is a splendid week. Right, Dave?
Oh, the Kings lost last night, Dave. What are you doing? Jeez. Come on, man.
Oh, I'm thinking about something that might happen tomorrow.
No, I believe
I'm just telling you this. My team is wearing black to the funeral. What color is your team?
Yeah, I know where he's going. Dude, come on, man. Wasn't it like 2 or 3 years ago? Didn't we have the whole conversation? I was super nice to you because I think like Florida State was favored by like 35. And we were just like, yeah, well, there's been some great games in the past, just not Miami's time. Like, you're going to beat us by like 900.
No, actually, I'm very nervous that we're going to beat you by like 9 or maybe less. Because if you've watched any Miami Hurricanes football, and I know people in your area did, a lot of the Cal fans did, we are just that team that we don't know what tackling is. We don't know what defense is. And we play down the competition. There's no question that this is your team's Super Bowl of the year. You'd love nothing more than to come into the Rock and knock off the Hurricanes. And I'll be there. I'm going to be very nervous. because I've seen how our defense plays, but we do have a pretty good offense. And that makes me feel like we've got a chance to win. But it won't be by 900 points.
Jason, do you remember Lou Holtz?
Very well.
Okay, we've had this conversation before. Lou Holtz, famous coach, mainly known for Notre Dame, and one of the things that I always loved about Lou Holtz is back in Notre Dame's run when they were in the national championship almost every year. This is the 80s. They'd be playing like Lower West Side, Mississippi, Tennessee State, and they'd ask Lou a question like, "Hey Lou, how do you prepare these guys when you know you're most likely going to win this thing by a comfortable margin?" He'd be like, "No, that's not the case. No, let me tell you something. Lower West Side, Mississippi, Tennessee State, that defense is absolutely unbelievable. We watched him on film, and if we're not careful, this could be an upset. I'm telling you right now, we are taking these guys very, very seriously." That's what Richard's trying to do right now. Thank you. Florida State is 1-6. Miami is 7-0. We're going down to Miami. Miami's currently favored by 21, and that is hilariously low. As a matter of fact, Jason, if you put $100 on the Florida State Seminoles to win this game outright, you would walk away with $800. So I understand wide right, and I understand the history of the rivalry, and throw the records out. Dave, if the Hurricanes win this by any less than 21 points, I will trade you. Derrick Henry for Sam Darnold's spit cup. That's how confident I am we're terrible.
That's a deal. And I would take the Noles and the points.
Well, you'd be silly then. Speaking of losers, my fantasy football teams, just because everybody wants to hear about it. I started out 3-0 in my tougher league. I am now in my two main fantasy leagues, Dave. I'm a combined 0-7 over the last few weeks. It has been absolutely atrocious. Yeah, it's really, really, really bad. So for folks like me, it is not a keeper league. I can't tank. I can't do anything. What are we seeing on the waiver wires? I always ask you that. What's the other people's trash is a hungry man's treasure, folks? Anyone popping out to you this week?
I do think there are some names that are worth mentioning, and you can go and see if you can find them on your waiver wire. I don't know. Some of the names I'll give you, I think you can start. But others, I think we're speculating at best. Demario Douglas with the Patriots. Remember, he left last week's game in London early with an illness. He's really their best wide receiver, and he's out there not quite half of CBS Sports leagues. I think he's somebody that you could grab. Maybe you're lucky and Tyler Lockett will be out there. Lockett, if there's no DK Metcalf, does have a chance to maybe lead the Seahawks in targets and have a nice game against Buffalo. Let me give you two Tampa Bay Bucks players. We know that Godwin's out for the year. We know that Mike Evans is out for a while, but Jalen McMillan is their rookie. He's a speedy downfield guy. He's someone that can help replace Mike Evans. He's already been playing a lot to begin with, so he's already been working with Baker Mayfield. So he's one guy that I think you can go and grab. I think he's available in about a third of CBS leagues, maybe half. Another guy in that offense at running back is Sean Tucker. He was originally an undrafted running back out of Syracuse. I thought that he actually looked great 2 games ago against the Saints. And I wonder if there is no Bucky Irving, he's got a toe injury, we could see Sean Tucker fit into the running downs role for Tampa Bay. So that's a guy that you can add now, see what happens today in practice in Tampa. And if Bucky Irving's good to go, you can just cut Sean Tucker. And I lied. I'm going to give you another name. Sterling Shepard could end up replacing Chris Godwin in the slot for the rest of the year. And he could be somebody that could be good for 10 PPR points. Cedric Tillman is on the list of receivers that can get you 10 PPR points. I'll give you one other name, and this maybe should have been the headliner of all of them, is Rashad Bateman from Baltimore. We don't know if Zay Flowers is going to play. If he doesn't, that means that Bateman is the number 1 receiver for the Ravens. They're taking on Cleveland. I think Bateman can beat man coverage, and that's what the Browns play a lot of. And he's somebody who's got that same type of floor as Shepard, 10 PPR points, but the ceiling is much, much higher. So he would be the one that I would prioritize. And if there's no Zay Flowers, you can put him in the lineups. I apologize. I pulled an FSU. I should have put Bateman right at the top of the list to begin with.
Wow. Dave, we got a couple from our listeners here. How about Najee Harris or James Cook?
They're very close in my rankings. I'm going to take Cook just because I think he's the more explosive running back of the two, but Najee has looked better. Really, the whole Steelers offense looked better last week against the Jets, and I think it was because Russ was under center. They felt more comfortable. They looked more comfortable. They played more confidently. Najee doesn't have breakaway speed, but he's still going to get a lot of work. And the matchup against the Giants is pretty favorable for Najee. So very close call between those two. If it's PPR, I think I'd almost certainly lean toward Cook, but it's very close. I'm going to say Cook, but I like them both.
All right, and the other one was start one at flex, Madison, Judy, or Hopkins, and kind of a follow-up on that. What do you think Hopkins will now do as a member of the Chiefs?
So if it's full PPR, I'll take Hopkins. And if it's half PPR or non-PPR, I guess I'll just settle for Alexander Madison and hope he finds the end zone. But man, it's a you know what? That's not good advice. I'm just going to start Hopkins no matter what. Let's face it. Kansas City needs a threat on the perimeter. Hopkins might not have burner speed, but he can run routes really well. He can find open space against zone coverage really well, and the Chiefs see a lot of that. And he also can win contested catches, and that's something that Kansas City really hasn't had a lot of lately. And so I think that Hopkins can fill that role and be a good, at minimum, number 3 receiver for your fantasy team.
Dave Richard, CBS Sports, joining us. I want to go back real quick to Mike Evans. You know, it might be the most underrated streak in all of sports right now because not everyone is aware of it. Mike Evans, 10 years, over 1,000 yards. Now, here's the deal. He has played in 7 games, got the hamstring injury. He's got 335 yards. Okay. They say they're not putting him on IR because that would be 4 games. So you're guessing it's about a 3-game injury, I think, according to the coach. So that means he's going to play in probably 14 games, including maybe one coming back from the injury. Now, Dave, he played in 13 games in 2019, and he had 1,157 yards. That was, by the way, on an average of 17.3 per catch. He's averaging 12.9 yards per catch. I'm reading it. I don't know this. 12.9 yards a catch so far. My question to you is this. Does the Mike Evans 1,000-yard streak end this season?
I'm going to say no, because I expect him back week 12 against the Giants. That's a good matchup. And in the games between then and the end of the year, he plays Carolina twice, Vegas once, Dallas once, Chargers once, and then in week 18, he's home against the New Orleans Saints. He can do it. Those Carolina games are really what stands out to me. And I'm going to take it one step further. I think he is one of the best buy low players in fantasy football if your fantasy team is 7-0, 6-1, maybe 5-2. 5-2 and you win this week and now you're 6-2. Yes. If you are headed toward the playoffs and you feel really good, there's going to be somebody else in your league that's got Mike Evans, and maybe their record isn't as good. They will take help right now in exchange for Mike Evans. Do it. Get your team loaded for that late season run. You're going to be thrilled to have Mike Evans back, crushing it. And there's no Chris Godwin the rest of the year, guys.
Yeah.
So we know that he's going to have a huge target share.
Dave, who do you like in the Cowboys-Niners game this week as far as plays fantasy-wise?
Well, let's just make the assumption that Debo plays, and I'm hoping that he does. And I'm really glad that he's out of the hospital because it sounded really bad. But if Debo plays, love him against Dallas. Love Kittle against Dallas. Jordan Mason's going to be a start, a number 2 fantasy running back. And that means that Purdy's in play as a borderline starter. I think that he can be okay. I don't know if he can actually go and get 3 touchdowns or something like that, but 200 yards, 2 touchdowns, the typical kind of day for Brock Purdy. Yeah, I think he could give you something like that. I'm willing to bench Ricky Pearsall and have him on my team. I don't necessarily want to start him. And then on Dallas' side of the ball, I think Dak and Lamb are going to start to connect again. We saw that last year when they came out of the bye. They got to do something, and that's their best way to move the chains. I'm not a big fan of Rico Dowdle. We've had a lot of questions about him. I would try and sit him, especially this week. There are so many good running backs out there. You don't need to start Rico Dowdle. Jalen Tolbert is kind of a desperation flex, and Jake Ferguson's a good start at tight end. So both tight ends in the game. and then pretty much every 49er, and then Dak and Lamb.
When you talk about fantasy pickups, waiver wire pickups in the middle of the year, obviously he's not on a waiver wire anymore, but a lot of people are patting themselves on the back for Kareem Hunt, 250 yards and 3 touchdowns. Really, the first game, he had 69 yards against the Chargers, which is a pretty stout defense, if you will, but also his first game off the couch. He had 102 versus New Orleans and a touchdown, 78 and 2 touchdowns versus the 49ers. So my question is, where are you putting Kareem Hunt now for the remainder of the year? His competition, if there is any, with the Chiefs notwithstanding. And I ask that because I think a lot of people are now going to be Kareem Hunt owners that are going to be asked about Kareem Hunt. So I'm curious as to where you value him.
So in the trade chart that I do each week, Kareem Hunt is he's not even a top 24 running back rest of season. And the reason for that is because the expectation is that Isaiah Pacheco will come back. And when that happens, it's just going to be a mess between Hunt and Pacheco and who will play when and who's going to do what. So I think we kind of need to enjoy what Kareem Hunt is doing now and certainly use him, especially, goodness, this week against Las Vegas. Their run defense is pathetic. 14-plus PPR points to one running back at least in each of 7 games. I think that you're going to see Kareem Hunt continue to be, this is going to sound silly, but the catalyst of the Kansas City Chiefs offense. I know that we're used to saying that about Mahomes and Kelsey and their connection and all that. Hasn't worked out that way. Kareem Hunt gets a lot of volume, finds the end zone a lot, not necessarily the most efficient running back. But this week, I think you use him, and then you can consider trading him. You know, would I trade Kareem Hunt for Mike Evans if I was okay at running back and my team's going to the fantasy playoffs? Yeah, that's a move that I would make, because I do think that eventually Kareem Hunt comes back and he's going to kind of turn into a pumpkin, to use a Halloween reference, Dave. Thank you very much. Because of Pacheco getting there. And then what happens if Kansas City adds another wide receiver or they get Xavier Worthy going? His playing time has been going up. Well, then it goes back to Mahomes being the catalyst of the offense and Kareem Hunt is taking a back seat. So, first of all, I'm proud of everybody that picked up Kareem Hunt. I was one of the guys that talked him up in the wake of the Pacheco injury. So hopefully you heard it from me and you went and you got Kareem Hunt and you're good to go. But there is a clock ticking here. And so if you've got Kareem Hunt on your team, the time to sell high, it's pretty much here.
All right, Dave. Well, we always appreciate your time. We know that people can get more information from you, from your podcast, everything you do on CBS Sports. Let everybody know how they can find out more information than just the great information you just gave us.
Yeah, I'm on Twitter all the time, or X, whatever you want to call it. It's good with me. Look for me at Dave Richard. And then today, 10 a.m. Eastern, live on CBS Sports Network. If you've got digital cable or anything like that, if you're streaming, you've got the channel. You can watch Fantasy Football Today. We will go through starts and sits at every position, naming players who are not obvious. We're not going to tell you to start Amon-Ra St. Brown. You already know to do that. But other players that are out there who you've got questions on, we will answer them at all those positions. Plus, we'll answer some questions off of social media as well. And if you can't watch live, you can always watch the replay on YouTube. Go to YouTube, search for Fantasy Football Today. You'll see all of our podcasts, all of our live shows, all of it on demand, and all of it free, by the way. Like and subscribe to Fantasy Football Today on YouTube.
Awesome. Thank you for your time, as always. Good luck to, for both of you guys this week. We'll see how you guys we'll see how it all goes. Thanks again, Dave.
I am sure that if the Canes somehow lose, my phone will be blowing up in a big way.
Oh, you know it.
Oh, dude, you have no idea. I will actually probably drive to Jacksonville.
I will preemptively block you then. It'll be the first thing I do.
Yes. All right, Dave. Thank you. We'll talk to you next Friday.
You got it, guys. Good luck in your leagues.
All right. Thank you. That is Dave Richard. Always good insight. Thank you to those of you that sent in your questions and thoughts for Dave. When we come back, Dave and I continue more with 3 for Madness. That's next.
On the move? Got somewhere to be?
Take Sacramento Kings basketball with you. The Sacktown Sports app will let you stay connected to your passion. Never miss a moment of Sacramento Kings basketball with the Sacktown Sports app.
There's no need to be scared of auto maintenance this October. Your local Jiffy Lube has just the treats you need without the tricks, like fast oil changes or wiper blades for the upcoming rainy season. serving greater Sacramento area customers since 1984 with over 30 convenient locations to choose from. Open daily, early at 7:30 and open past 6 p.m. at most locations. Just visit jiffylube.com to find a location near you and valuable coupons to save money too.
3 questions, 3 answers. It's 3 for Madness on the Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross.
Here's question 1.
All right, Christopher Lott, let's just jump right into it. What do you got for Dave and I?
Marshawn Lynch's new movie trailer, Love Hurts, was released yesterday, and it looks great. He's also scheduled to be in 4 more coming out in the next year. Is he going to be a must-watch actor?
Dave, what is it about Marshawn Lynch? There's something about him that is really appealing, at least to me. I don't know. I can't put my finger on it, but he's really likable to me.
I have watched Marshawn Lynch go through the wilderness with Bear Grylls. I have watched Marshawn Lynch deliver Skittles to people in some form of rural Scotland. I have watched Marshawn Lynch since he stole the golf cart at Cal, and on and on and on.
Have you watched Marshawn Lynch play Mortal Kombat with Gronk on Conan O'Brien?
No.
That is a must-watch.
He is absolute eye glue. He not igloo, eye glue. You're drawn to him. It's his mannerisms. It's the first time, and maybe I'm just sheltered. It's the first time I ever heard the term "on mamas." Like I can pick up new things from Marshawn Lynch, and he has all the credibility of being an incredibly tough football player who came from a pretty tough background, a guy you would never want to mess with, but also a guy who has an incredible sense of humor and a way with people that's not afraid to be a kid. He's very endearing and intimidating at the same time, and that's not an easy combo to have. So it could be, I mean, you know the saying, Jason, but I think it's true. I could listen. I mean, imagine for a second if there was a little 5-minute TikTok of Marshawn Lynch reading random names out of the phone book and then like providing like a short comment on each one from time to time. I would probably watch that. So yeah, it's going to be fun to watch.
Yeah, and this what was the movie Chris mentioned? Love Hurts. He told me about it. Watched the trailer. It's with Short Round from
Temple of Doom. From Indiana, Temple of Doom.
Yeah, and he's kind of made a nice rebirth of his career, but the premise looks good, and Marshawn's in that one as a character, and yeah, I don't know. He's likable, he's enjoyable, and good for him if this is kind of the next chapter of his life, making it work as an actor, I guess, even no matter what his role is. So good for him. Let's go to question 2.
Question 2.
Let's say the Kings football and a World Series game are all on at the same time. If you only have one screen available, rank them.
Oh boy. Okay, and I wrote this question, but here's also, I love how I like acknowledge that my own question is tough for me to answer. Here's the other caveat too: you can't switch during commercials, so you don't have any other screens, and you can't be like, oh, it's halftime, I'll catch up or whatever. You can't do that. You got to pick one to watch. I'm probably watching the Niners first because it's a finite amount of games, and especially the situation they're in, I got to watch them first. Plus, it's the Cowboys. It should be the World Series second, but I just don't care enough about the teams. If the Giants were in it, that would actually be first. But since it's, none of my teams, I'd probably go them third, and especially because it's the start of the game. If it was like February, I might put the Kings game third just because it's February's game, whatever, random 31 of 82. But I would probably go Niners first, Kings second, and then World Series third.
Okay, so we had a question similar to this, but this one's a ranking, so I like this one. It's for me, it would be what's the biggest stakes, and it's the World Series. So I'm going there, and it's a team. Like you said, if the Giants were there, you'd probably put it 1. Well, the Yankees are there, so it's definitely 1 for me. Then Kings, then NFL. But I mean, that sounds like there's a big separation amongst all of them. There really isn't. It's just if we have to rank them, that would be, but that's really, really close, honestly. And that's why I'm thankful we have multiple options. We can change TVs, we can change games, you can record, like you got all the choices now. We're spoiled, but if this was the world we lived in, yeah, I would go World Series #1 on that one. Let's go to question number 3.
Question 3.
On a scale from 1 to when I mess with Dave on Twitter, how angry did the Kings make you last night?
Okay, so I'll tell you the angriest I was being in New York, and I had so the game started at 10 p.m. So I stayed up late, and I started it late. So I have NBA League Pass, but for some reason, League Pass wasn't working. It kept saying, like, you have to upgrade to League Pass. And I have it. Like, it literally showed in my subscriptions that I had League Pass Premium even. But every time I hit watch now, it said you got to have League Pass. So then it finally said to watch this game, it's 99 cents. And I went, I need to watch the game. So I clicked it, 99 cents, whatever. It's $1. It's fine. And the little circle-y thing happened, but it didn't show. So then I X'd out of the app, opened it back up, and it started doing the same thing. And I went, okay, one more try here, 99 cents. I have to watch this game. I got to talk about it tomorrow. But if it doesn't work, I'm screwed. Well, I ended up paying $2 on top of NBA League Pass, and I had to do the hand over the phone because I had to rewind it to the beginning. And the whole point was I got on about an hour late, and then I was just going to fast forward through. And then, by around third, fourth quarter, whatever, I'd be caught up, I'd be live, whatever. So I'm watching the game. I get through halftime. We get into the third quarter. This is before the Timberwolves run, and I'm, into it, blah, blah, blah. And then all of a sudden, the stupid athletic banner that I have at the top of my screen, all of a sudden it pops down and says, final score, Timberwolves 117, Kings 150. I'm just like,
Thanks, Sam Amick.
Yeah, thanks a lot, Sam Amick. So that made me angrier. Look, I've got thoughts. We've been kind of soft playing this whole Kings thing. Yeah. We've had Safer Out. We've had Rewind. We've had Dave Richard. We're doing 3 for Madness. The rest of the show is going to be heavy, with the exception of Greg Papa. Heavy, heavy, heavy Kings. I have thoughts on the game. I will say this. I'm not going to sit here and say, well, they were the better team. They lost. I'm not going to say, well, they kept up really well. So, no moral victories or any of that crap. I have thoughts, and I have hard criticisms. And I have issues with the game. Don't get me wrong. But I'd say it's a 5. I was not as angry as I am when Chris is stupid on Twitter. But I would say about a 5. About a 5. I was just very, very annoyed.
Yeah, and it's, there are going to be games this year where we will clearly be annoyed. There'll be games where we'll clearly be thrilled, and maybe surprises. And I don't know how I felt who was going to win prior to the game. I was just excited about it. And then as it unfolded, I think for the large part of the game, they were pretty good. I mean, there's always ways to get better. That's an obvious statement. But I thought more of their minutes were good minutes, and their bad minutes weren't that they were terrible, but you could just see it was just enough. And there's just a couple of little things to watch going forward that I think they can tweak, that they probably need to tweak. And if they do that, I think everything is going to be just fine. But again, you still have to do that. They did play a good team. I think this is kind of a slice, Dave, of what the West is going to be like. I think those were 2 good teams. Someone's got to win. The T-Wolves won by 2. I didn't look at that going, man, they're so much better than the Kings. But they won, and the Kings are the ones that have to adjust, have to tweak, have to deal with it. And like you said, we got a lot more on that. So we're going to do that when we come back, because we got to dive into the reaction to the Kings' home opening loss. This is a short break. We'll be right back. We got to dive feet first. Dave and I will do that next on the Kings' opening night loss.
On the move? Got somewhere to be?
Take Sacramento Kings basketball with you. The Sacktown Sports app will let you stay connected to your passion. Never miss a moment of Sacramento Kings basketball with the Sacktown Sports app.
All right, we close out this week telling you about someone new to our show as a sponsor, but not new at all to this community. It's been great talking about Overhead Door Company of Sacramento. And they've been serving the area and 9 counties surrounding our area of Sacramento for over 70 years. So if you're looking to improve your home's value, which is the greatest return on investment, is the new garage door when making improvements. That is the greatest return on investments. So many different styles to give your home that refresh it may need. You also may need just a quick repair to your existing garage door. Whatever the case may be, Overhead Door Company of Sacramento is here for you. Now, if you aren't quite sure what you want, well, you can check out their showroom. You don't even need an appointment. Just stop on by and get more information. Meet the great people there and find out what best suits you. Now, that could be residential, be also commercial. They will take care of your needs. Contact them at 916-421-3747 or visit their website. That's ohdsac.com. And remember this, while you're at it, don't forget to mention me, Jason Ross, or Sacktown Sports, and you'll receive $100 off a brand new garage door paired with a new opener. So take this weekend to check them out, see how you can give your home, your business, or however you want to use the variety of products from Overhead Door Company of Sacramento to help you out. Check them out. Overhead Door Company of Sacramento, the original overhead door. Always look for the red ribbon logo.
Sacramento weather is brought to you by Bonnie.
I'm Dirk Verdorn in the KCRA 3 Weather Center, and we are going to see a few clouds this morning, but expect to have clouds decreasing this afternoon with temperatures warming into the lower 80s. Get the latest forecasts on the KCRA 3 News and the KCRA 3 app.
Imagine taking a nice warm bath in your shower. Let's fix that. Right now, get that clogged drain unclogged for just $67. Plumbing, sewer, electric, heating, and air. Bonnie.com. Some restrictions apply. License 696-355.
Get ready for an incredible night as the iconic Little River Band hits the stage at the Nugget Casino Resort Grand Ballroom. Join us Saturday, November 16th at the Nugget Grand Ballroom for an unforgettable concert experience. You'll hear all your favorites in this must-see event of classic rock. The Little River Band live at the Nugget Casino Resort Grand Ballroom. For tickets and info, visit nuggetcasinoresort.com.
At Elk Grove Honda, not only do we have a great selection of pre-owned certified cars at very fair prices, but every one of our pre-owned automobiles are treated with kid gloves with a 182-point inspection that covers everything from unibody to tires to brakes and engine filters. Then our certified cars receive a mobile oil change and fresh fill-up with full synthetic mobile oil. We know you have lots of choices of where to purchase your next car. Come to Elk Grove Honda, home of the 182-point inspection and mobile oil change. We're in the Elk Grove Auto Mall, Highway 99 at Elk Grove Boulevard. If you're not looking for a brand new car, at Elk Grove Honda, we've acquired some of the best pre-owned cars we can find. We've kept only the best of our trades, and our buyer has found some of the finest pre-owned Hondas available in Northern California. You can see for yourself at elkgrovehonda.com. Whether you purchase a brand new Honda or a like-new pre-owned Honda, your car buying experience will be the same. We have the right Honda at the right price. You'll find us in the Elk Grove Auto Mall, Highway 99 and Elk Grove Boulevard.
I gotta get an Elk Grove Honda.
Don't let summer energy slip away. Live the active life you love year-round with a personally fit arch support system from the Good Feet store. Precision engineered to support all 4 arches. Good Feet puts your feet in a more ideal, comfortable, and pain-free position. And Good Feet arch supports are now HSA and FSA eligible. Book a free fitting at goodfeet.com or come in and get a free pair of OS First Performance socks. Free. Normally a $25 value at the Good Feet store.
Capital Casino, conveniently located on 411th North 16th Street in downtown Sacramento.
Waking you up with the best in local sports.
They just make it interesting, you know?
It's the Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross
on Sacktown Sports.
2.4 to go. Kings down by 2. Skip pass, cross court. Keegan. Double clutch 3 for the win, and it rims out. He had that extra hesitation as the defender went running by on a flyby, but then he was forced into almost a double clutch, and it rimmed out. And the Kings are denied an opening night win in front of a sellout crowd of 18,049. The final score, 117-115. As Minnesota evens its record at 1-1.
All right, Dave, so let's jump into it. You said you had thoughts. Opening loss by 2 to the Timberwolves. Let's just go. What are you thinking? What do you think about the Kings?
Yeah, so let me just start with something that had absolutely nothing to do with the game. And granted, full disclosure, I was not there. I was watching on TV, but I was watching the arena feed version. What, Jason, jump in if I'm wrong, if I missed something. And I want to say before I say this that you and I have worked with the Kings for a long time. You work for the Kings. I've worked with them, and we know a lot of people there. And a lot of them are actually real life personal friends. The Kings production crew is second to none. The game ops crew, whether it's Mo Brazelton, Scott Moak, everybody involved, I won't go through the whole list. This has nothing to do with them. But was it just me, or was it a complete and total just nothing burger of an open? Like, at all. It's the season and home opener. Where is Slamson? Where is Slamson in a tux? Where's the pyro? Where are the booms? Like, did I miss something, or did I just see like a brief video and then Moak's introductions? I'm asking, maybe I missed something.
You know, I'm reflecting back on it. I remember getting the typical chills and goosebumps, and there was such a great energy in there. Chris, you were there too. I remember the video board and then Mo coming in. I don't know if there was stuff down on the floor. I mean, the dancers were out there. I don't know. I don't recall that of anything. I don't remember any fireworks or any kind of spectacular thing.
There's like a bunch of fireworks at the beginning.
There was?
Yeah.
Okay, there were. So I missed.
Okay,
it,
and
then I apologize. That was my
and then
question.
they had like the lights up the rails that I don't remember seeing that before. Like, there was just a few different things, and then all the white t-shirts. I think it always makes that look really, really cool. But yeah, I mean, inside it was pretty fantastic.
Okay.
Oh,
okay.
it was
that was
lit.
Yeah.
It was lit. Okay. Then
Yeah.
I retract, because I was watching on TV, and I just, we have had some of the like greatest opens, I think, in NBA history. And I'm seeing on the text line right now, they're saying there was all kinds of pyro and stuff. So okay, good.
There was fireworks, everything.
Okay.
Yeah.
Totally retract. Totally retract. That's why I was wondering, because it just seemed so out of character. The Kings have always done such a wonderful job with not just game. And by the way, even if that was the case, it wouldn't have been any of the people we know's fault. It would have been an edict from above or something that, let's just downplay it. But obviously they didn't. So good. I love that about the Kings, and that's the only reason why I hold them to such a high standards, because they're so good year in and year out. So that's good to hear. So okay, that out of the way. I'll say this, Jason. I think if I'm trying to be positive here, I would say I think the Timberwolves playing against the Lakers was the difference in this game. I think one team was playing their first game of the season. The other team was playing their second. It's that simple in a 2-point game. I think the Kings looked, especially in the first quarter, really, really engaged defensively. Their switching was fantastic. Kevin Huerter, who is the guy I always look at on defense. I looked at DeMar as well, but I had a lot of questions about Kevin because of the injury, and also his defense hasn't exactly been his calling card in the past. But you can really tell the dude was locked in and just doing everything he physically could. If there was a defensive lapse on Kevin Huerter's part last night, it wasn't because he wasn't trying. He was very, very engaged, and I appreciated that. I love DeMontis hitting the 3 right out the gate. Good for him. And I think, like I said, if this was the Kings' second game of the season and the Timberwolves' first game of the season, I think the Kings win last night. Now, that being said, and I'm only saying this, I don't like ring and run where you do the backseat, the Friday morning quarterback thing, unless, of course, it's something we talked about. We talked about matchups, and I don't know how they could have done much differently, but Julius Randle was obviously getting his, and Anthony Edwards is always going to get his, but it was on 10 of 24 shooting. I'll take that, especially 5 of 15 from beyond the arc. I think what really got me was I don't know why Mike Brown insisted on starting Kevin Huerter out of the gate. He had all summer with nothing. He didn't really have a full training camp at all. And then you're basically bringing him in cold. You're starting him and you're giving him 20 minutes. And shockingly, Kevin Huerter made 0 3-pointers. He had 4 rebounds. He was completely invisible on the offensive end the rest of the way. He had 2 points. Keon Ellis had been starting in the preseason, and he gets 11 minutes and he gets 2 points. Doug McDermott comes in 6 minutes, no points. I did not like Mike Brown's rotations, and I don't know. I don't care about the whole, well, you got to have a second unit and derp. How many times have we seen really, really good teams be 6, 7 deep at the most? If you've got Kevin Huerter coming off an injury, if you've got Keon Ellis who you're throwing out of rhythm, you know what, dude? Start Malik Monk. Start Malik Monk or keep Keon Ellis in the starting lineup and work Kevin Huerter back in. You see it time and time again where the injured guy gets worked back into the lineup. Start him in game 2, start him in game 4, but let him come off the bench. Let him get his rhythm if he does. And once I don't know why, and I'm saying this, I always feel like I have to say this, Jason. You and I are the presidents of the Kevin Huerter fan club. We love him to death, but this is basketball analysis. I don't know why Kevin Huerter is anointed automatically as the starter at the 2 when you have options like Keon Ellis or Malik Monk, who apparently is not allowed to start a game ever. It's literally in the contract. So moving that aside, there's other things to break down, but I thought that decision, there were a lot of things that could have gone differently. I thought the decision to start Kevin Huerter lost him the game. I thought that's the difference between 1-0 and 0-1. And in a Western Conference that is going to be an absolute slaughterhouse, that's going to have Memphis back and healthy and ready to go. It looks like Golden State has reloaded, and they're going to be a factor at some point this year. The Kings are going to be fighting and scratching for every single spot. And unless we want to have a lateral or another backwards move this year, I don't want to wait until game 5 or game 10 to turn up the noise to 10. Like, you cannot screw around and lose games. I don't care if Minnesota was a couple games away from the finals last year. I don't care if they're a finals favorite this year. I don't. This was a winnable game at home, and you sacrificed 31 minutes to 2 guys that want to combine 1 of 5 with 4 points. And that's just not going to cut it, dude. It's not going to cut it. And you could see it going in. We talked about it going in, and it came to fruition.
My thing for last night that jumps out to me the most, I would say, I think your point on this being Minnesota's second game played a factor for them, and this being the Kings' first game probably played a factor for them in that they were incorporating Huerter, they were incorporating Lyles. But I will say all the preseason questions we had, it looked completely different. I mean, this looked like a good basketball team. So that was encouraging. What I don't know how to in my negative comment, there's also positives in it, and I don't know how the Kings marry this all together, and I'm hoping by game 2, 3, 4, and all the way along the line they find this. It's such a free-flowing offense. There's so many skilled players that can score, and DeMar DeRozan is one of them, and I do think he had a good game. But I think there's a little pocket in the game in that third quarter, part of that 11-0 run. There was a little pocket in the fourth quarter where the offense didn't move as much, and it kind of went a little bit more dribble, ISO for DeMar DeRozan. Now, that's the negative. Now, inside of that, there were plays that DeMar DeRozan made. There were plays that he got to the line. I mean, the Kings don't have people that get to the line 14 times, and he makes 12. That's one of his strengths. But, Dave, I think they got to find the strengths of DeRozan while not losing whoever it might be, Monk, Fox, Huerter, Sabonis. Like, they didn't totally lose him. It wasn't awful all game long. There was just little bit of stretches where it's like, are you going to be the half-court, slow-it-down team? Are you going to be the pace, move it around, shoot three-pointers team? They haven't found that yet, and I think they will. And I think when it's all put together, that's going to be really good. It wasn't all last night, but it also wasn't far off. And so there are winning elements from last night's game, but there's also reasons why they lost the game. And they got to tighten that up as quickly as Saturday, because I think you're right. The big picture scheme is they are going to be in a fight with the Timberwolves and the Lakers and the Suns and pick your team. And this is game 1, but will we count this one later? Go, I don't know that they should have won, but they could have won. And when you're counting them all up at the end, we know last year one game made a difference. So Doesn't ruin anything yet, but it would have been nice to start, even if that was a Keegan 3 to end it, and you go, well, you got through it and you won by 1. So we got a lot more on this, Dave. We do have to break. We'll come back. Also, a reminder, we do have our Jiffy Lube Drive of the Game. That is coming your way in our next segment. And Dave and I will go more over what went right, what went wrong last night in the Kings season opening loss. That's next on Sacktown Sports.
Trying to find out where to catch your favorite team's games?
Are you a fan of the Kings, Niners, and the NFL? Well, Sacktown Sports has you covered.
Touchdown! San Francisco!
It's all on his shoulders. Fox rocks. He fires for the win. He's got the triple.
Catch all your Kings, Niners, and NFL games all year long on Sacktown Sports and SacktownSports.com.
Hey there, Jason Ross here to tell you about my friend Jonathan Gonzalez in downtown Sacramento and Gonzalez Law Offices. SacLegalDefense.com, 916-304-9187. That's his phone number, and that's the person you need to contact when you're in a bind, when you need some help, when you've got some questions. Hey, a situation came up. Do I need someone to help me, someone to represent me, whether it's criminal defense, sexual harassment cases. You could have something on your record that you like removed that's kind of hanging with you, an expungement, auto accidents, wrongful termination cases. All these things do happen, and sometimes you need a little assistance, someone on your side, someone that can help you. And Jonathan Gonzalez in his law office down there in downtown Sacramento, he has remained undefeated from 2016 through 2019 for jury trials. His meticulous case preparation and his attitude have resulted in life-changing results for thousands of his clients, and the same can be done for you. If you're in that bind, if you need some help, if you need someone local that you can trust, again, it's the law offices of Jonathan Gonzalez, 916-304-9187, or go to SacLegalDefense.com.
Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm.
Do you find yourself stuck in a timeshare? Get the real facts about the timeshare industry and your options for cancellation. Chuck McDowell, founder of Wesley Financial Group, has put together a free information guide that reveals the secrets the timeshare industry doesn't want you to know, including the 5 ways to get rid of your timeshare. Call now and get this timeshare cancellation guide absolutely free.
Call 800-330-2929. 800-330-2929. 800-330-2929.
I didn't expect to, but I need to get a new health insurance plan. The good news is I found Health Markets. Health Markets lays out plans available to you. They have access to more than 200 carriers across the country. And if you need help, you can just speak with a licensed insurance agent.
For real personalized service, call Health Markets at 855-680-8222 to speak to a licensed insurance agent. That's 855-680-8222. Health Markets Insurance Agency, Inc. is licensed as an insurance agency nationwide except in Massachusetts. Paid actor portrayal.
The shot clock is ticking, and your home team is driving up the court. But don't miss your chance to score big at Northern California's #1 Honda dealer, Stockton Honda. Save on a new Accord, HR-V, Ridgeline, or the all-new Prologue before the buzzer sounds on year-end deals. Don't get benched by high prices. Slam dunk your savings today.
Anytime, anywhere, it's all here. StocktonHonda.com.
#1 claims based on 2023 total new and Honda certified pre-owned vehicle car sales from American Honda Motor Company. Sold on report.
Tired of ads interrupting your favorite news podcasts? Good news! Ad-free listening on Amazon Music is included with your Prime membership. Stay up to date on everything newsworthy with podcasts like The Daily, Up First, and 5 Things Uninterrupted at Amazon.com/ad-free. Just head to Amazon.com/ad-free to catch up on the latest episodes without the ads.
I spray and scrub, but the soap scum in my bathtub is still there.
I spray and scrub, but the burnt sauce on my stovetop sticks around.
Sprays can leave grime behind, but Mr. Clean Ultra Foamy Magic Eraser combines the scrubbing power of an eraser with the cleaning power of Dawn to melt away tough messes on contact.
Just wet, squeeze, and erase.
Stop spraying, start erasing, and clean with more magic than ever with Ultra Foamy Magic Eraser.
Mr. Clean, Mr. Clean.
Place in the morning to get your sports fix.
Live and local.
The Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross.
DiVincenzo drive, feeds a bounce pass inside to Randall. Randall trying to free up, and he does with a series of moves. against Sabonis and company. 11-0 is the run now for Minnesota, and they lead by 6 at 105-99.
All right, back here on the show, Jason Ross, Carmichael Dave hanging out in New York. He'll be back with us on Monday. Dave, right now we need callers. The first person to correctly identify our Jiffy Lube drive of the game as described by the G-Man Gary Gerald last night at 916-339-1140 or 1-800-920-1140. You will be the winner of a $100 gift card courtesy of Jiffy Lube. So we're so glad they're back.
We are so glad they're back. And we're so glad the Kings are back. You know, they didn't win, but we are glad they're back. And tough result last night, Jason Ross.
Yeah, you know, and one of the questions, off-season questions I had happened in game one, and it was, look, you've got two of the clutch players in the last couple of years in De'Aaron Fox and DeMar DeRozan, who both missed shots late in regulation. Look, everybody misses shots at different times, but literally when they had, the 2-point seconds to go, I thought, well, who will get that last shot? And I think that final play would look like it had some designs for Fox and or Monk, and if that other option ended up being Keegan, then the look he got wasn't so bad. We were saying this in the post-game, Dave. I mean, it's clearly a Friday morning quarterback situation here, but Keegan got the flyby, and you don't always get the call, but playing it back in my head, I go, oh, man, Keegan probably could have just shot and jumped in. You know, maybe they'll call offensive foul, but if you got a guy hitting you while shooting a three, I would have liked Keegan's chances to at least make two to force overtime, if not all three, to win the game.
Well, and that's the difference between winning and losing. And you can, we can we can hit rewind all we want, and it's easy to do that now. Coach Brown said in the post game he would have. There were other looks available. DeMar was going through his reads. He would have liked the ball to have been thrown with a little more oomph to Keegan, which wouldn't have given the defense time to rotate, and that's a tough thing. They didn't have any timeouts on that inbound play, and he said they'd only run that play once live. So there's that adjustment too. I agree with you. Keegan, Anthony Edwards went down, drove the ball, and got the foul and hit the free throws. That's a superstar play. Keegan Murray, who is improving and who is great, but you would have liked to, seen him pump fake as he did, draw the contact. I hate the philosophy, but it works. By the way, they didn't have any timeouts. Russell, who I rarely agree with, actually, because of that challenge, and they continue to have rough challenge luck. But you had you have two of the top 5 clutchiest players on the team. De'Aaron Fox had he hits that shot 90% of the time, and he misses it. Then it goes off his finger on the carom. And Anthony Edwards goes down, draws the foul, and makes the free throws. That's the win. That's the difference right there. And, oh, by the way, an 11-0 run by Minnesota in the third quarter probably didn't help. But that's the difference between winning and losing, Jason. That's the difference between winning teams and losing teams. It's that simple.
Yeah, and, even on their end, where I think clearly their two best scorers are going to be Ant and Julius Randle. The first game against the Lakers, Randle was not very good, and Ant kind of did his thing. And the way it was going last night, I thought the Kings defended Edwards a lot better. He got better as the game went along, but Randle was keeping him alive. And then it's the three-point line, too. And, we saw it a little bit in the preseason. The Warriors hit a bunch of threes against the Kings, and that's just such a weapon that's so difficult to overcome, Dave. I think the Kings did a good job about making more free throws and getting in the paint and getting more of the higher percentage points than Minnesota. But when you make 9 more threes, that's 27 points you have to make up, and the Kings did a lot of it. And I still think at the end the Kings are going to be a good 3-point shooting team, or a team that, hits a decent volume. But, that's kind of also been a trouble spot the last couple of years, is the amount of 3-pointers this team allows.
Yeah, and I think it's important to really acknowledge that. Let me see here. I'm doing the math here. The Kings shot 80% from the free throw line last night. Mm-hmm. But remember, this is going to be the DeMar DeRozan effect, because they shot 75% other than DeMar DeRozan. That's not a huge disparity, if you will. But of the 35 free throws the Kings shot, DeMar DeRozan shot 14 of them. By the way, that's going to happen for a lot of the year. De'Aaron Fox, 2 free throws in 37 minutes on 6 of 14. The DeMar DeRozan effect is going to be very interesting to analyze because we only have one game, and I could very easily, I don't want to say go homer on you because that implies that it's not correct. I could go bright side, and I could say, look, they're not just inserting somebody new into the starting lineup. They're inserting a huge presence into the starting lineup compared to DeMar DeRozan's offense to Harrison Barnes's offense. And it's absolutely night and day. It changes everything. Not to mention you had another starter in Kevin Huerter. If you add him to Keenan Ellis, that's 31 minutes between the two of them, who are basically non-factors on offense. So you're playing 4-on-5 offensively. And DeMar DeRozan is playing 43 minutes, which was matched only by Keegan Murray's 43. And he is nothing like Harrison Barnes, which is why you get, I think, a game in which not only did Domantas Sabonis not get a double-double, Domantas Sabonis had 1 assist. I can't remember if he even had a game last year, Jason Ross, where he had 1 assist. And you have De'Aaron Fox, who had 15 points. That's 10 plus below his average. And I don't know if that is an exception or a rule, but I just don't know how sustainable those two numbers are going to be.
Yeah, it was funny as the game was going, and for the most part of the game, the Kings led. Now, they never really got totally in control. They had, I think at one point, a 12-point lead, but that was for just a couple possessions. And it basically lived in that about 2-point lead to about 6 for the Kings for most of the game. But they had the lead most of the time, and there was a couple different times like, man, they look pretty good. And they're doing a lot of this, not without Sabonis and Fox, but not where they're featuring and relying so much on them. I'm like, this would be great if Keegan's doing more of the heavy lifting, DeRozan, Malik Monk, like this would be nice on those two big guns to have some nights like this where it's not just them. And in the end, when you do lose, you go, man, Fox 15 and 11, which is great. Sabonis not to get the double-double. Yeah, those are some interesting things to look at. We're going to talk more about this, Dave, too, coming up with Brendan Nunez. But before we go to the break here, we got to see if David, who called in here first, knows our Jiffy Lube drive of the game. David, do you know what happened last night where the G-Men called the Jiffy Lube drive of the game?
Yes, it was the Malik Monk Jam.
A Malik Monk Jam. Well, let's see if you are right.
Fox gives to Monk. Monk drives now, trying to get a step on Ingles. Beats him inside. Hammer time! Oh, what a drive to the basket by Malik Monk. He froze Joe Ingles, and he went baseline left for a powerful 2 points. That's your Jiffy Lube drive of the game.
Well, there you go, David. Good active listening. Congrats. You are a winner of a $100 gift card courtesy of our friends at Jiffy Lube. Well done.
Thanks very much.
All right, thank you. Hang tight. Look, Dave, first game, our loyal listeners are ready. They're on their game.
As we go to break, I did some quick looking. Congratulations, David, by the way. Domantas Sabonis had 2 assists last year in a game. It was against the New York Knicks on March 17th. That was the only time the entire season he had 2 assists. He didn't have a game with 1 or 0. That was his low, and it was 2. As a matter of fact, the last time Domantas Sabonis had 1 assist was January 30th, 2023, also against the Minnesota Timberwolves. So very out of character for him, but hey, that's why they play 82, right, buddy? That's why they play 82.
That's right. That is right. Well, we'll try to get more of a breakdown here on this one with our Sacktown Sports Kings insider, one of them, Brendan Nunez. He will join Dave and I when we return right here on Sacktown Sports.
The quest for ring number 6 happens here on Sacktown Sports 1140.
Fly ball, George went up and caught the ball. Touchdown! San Francisco!
Listen on Sacktown Sports for all the 49ers action.
Jennings went up and took it away. What a catch by JJ! He scored 3 touchdowns today.
The quest for 6 lives here on your local sports leader, Sacktown Sports 1140.
We all hear the radio ads about the IRS. They tell you to be afraid, to be scared, and they try to frighten you into calling. I'm not here to do that.
Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000, $50,000, or $500,000, we have a solution. It doesn't matter if you're sitting in your car, at work, or with your kids. No matter where you are, call now. 800-583-5795. Don't lose hope. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS. Generous programs are now available that can give you a fresh start. Our passion is taxes and helping individuals fix their IRS problems. We have over 1,000 5-star reviews on Google and an A+ with the Better Business Bureau. You don't need to be afraid of the IRS any longer. End your tax nightmare today by visiting us online at TRA.com or call 800-583-5795. That's 800-583-5795. Tax Relief Advocates. Real solutions for real people.
Hey, what's up, everybody? It's your boy, Kyle Draper. Equip your staff with top-notch uniforms, professionally cleaned and delivered weekly to your workplace by Alsco Uniforms, proud sponsors of the Sacramento Kings Mob Crew. Our services include uniforms, towels, floor mats, mops, first aid supplies, and restroom essentials to uphold cleanliness and safety standards in your business. Discover why it pays to keep clean with Alsco Uniforms. Visit alsco.com to learn more. Again, visit alsco.com.
Finally, an easy way to find home improvement contractors. Just visit subcontractorsunited.com and simplify your search for home services professionals. From cabinets to windows, roofing to plumbing, Subcontractors United is an easy, simple way to find and hire a home improvement contractor. And you never have to give up personal information. So no harassing phone calls like you get from those other websites. Subcontractorsunited.com is sponsored by D&D Cabinets and Savage Design.
Order for Jennifer C.
Is this my double shot, double cream, double froth, double pump, double hot, double whip, double sleeve?
Yeah. Can you handle that much caffeine?
Hey, did you know Discover automatically doubles all the cash back you've earned at the end of your first year?
Well, I do now.
Seriously, did you know Discover automatically doubles all the cash back you've earned at the end of your first year?
Yeah, you just said that.
Did you say I just said that?
Yeah, I'm cutting you off.
Did you say you're cutting me off?
You earn, we match. Unlimited cashback match. See terms at discover.com/credit card.
Everywhere you look, things are getting more expensive. So at Consumer Cellular, we're lowering the price for those 50 and up. Now you can get unlimited talk, text, and data for $30 a line when you buy 2. That's just $60 a month for 2 unlimited lines. So if you're 50 and up, make the switch and save. Come on, you've earned this. Call 1-888-FREEDOM or visit consumercellular.com today. Requires 2 lines of service, age validation, and credit approval, subject to system and area limits, taxes, and other fees apply.
What's up? We're talking to Chad Hoblet of Hoblet Dodge, Chrysler, Jeep, Ram, and Woodland. Chad, what's going on for Ram Power Days?
Save up to $15,000 off MSRP on new 2024 Ram 2500 Tradesmen. Plus, with over 400 new Ram trucks available, you're sure to find that truck you need at the Hoblet Ram Truck Center.
That is some of the best savings you've had all year, Chad.
Yep, and you won't find better deals on more Ram trucks than at the Hoblet Ram Truck Center. There's a reason we continue to be one of the biggest Ram dealers in the country, with numerous customer service awards, including the very prestigious Walter P. Chrysler Award, which means we are in the top 1% of dealers in the nation. Once you buy from Hoblet, you won't buy anywhere else.
Don't miss the savings at Hoblet. Search, select, and save through their whole inventory at HobletDodge.com. Unbeatable prices, unbeatable selection. Nobody beats Hoblet. Period.
15,000 total net savings after 8,500 factory rebates and 6,500 dealer discounts. Rebates include 2,000 Hoblet Select inventory coupons, 2,000 Hoblet trade-in assistance, must have qualifying trade-in, and 1,500 commercial bonus cash. Must have proof of business ownership. At least 5 of this net savings. Coupons available while supplies last. See dealer for details.
All guests come to you from the Folsom Lake Honda Hotline. Folsom Lake Honda, your one-stop Honda shop.
KHD1 Sacramento, KYMX HD3 Sacramento. From the Power Business Technology Toshiba Studios.
This is Sacktown Sports 1140. The Carmichael Dave Show.
He's on the microphone when he's not on the microphone. He's playing a song, and when he's not playing a song, he's on the microphone. And then boom,
with Jason Ross.
No, he didn't. Yes, he did.
Call or text at 916-339-1140.
It's the Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross on Sacktown Sports.
And going for 3 in the lead. He scores the 3-pointer straight away. And Minnesota, with the 5th lead change of the ball game, is up by 1.
That was part of that run you were talking about. Dave Kings had a little separation. T-Wolves had the lead actually going into the fourth quarter, back and forth. Went Kings trailed by as much as 6. Midway through the fourth, got all the way back, had their chances. but they fall by 2. We're going to talk more about it right now with our Sacktown Sports Kings insider, one of our insiders, and that is Brendan Nunez joining me, Jason Ross, along with Carmichael Dave. Good morning, Brendan.
Morning. How's it going, fellas?
It's going. We've been a little bummed about the outcome of last night. I think it was a game that was winnable. I don't know that they should have won. That's kind of what Dave and I were talking about. But there were things inside there that both Dave and I kind of had a mini list here of reasons why it didn't go the Kings' way. Tell us maybe your biggest factor, Brendan, on why the Kings are 0-1.
Yeah, I would say that end of the third quarter is really what stood out to me. That's kind of what I ended up going back and watching again last night after the post game, and what everybody was really focused on. You know, they had an okay, about narrow margin lead going into halftime, about a 4-point lead, and eventually stretched that out to a 12-point advantage. But Minnesota ends the third quarter on an 11-0 run. The Kings don't score over the final, I believe it's 3:08 of that quarter. And that's really where Minnesota kind of came back alive. So that stretch specifically stands out to me. I'll say Minnesota shooting 21 more threes definitely stands out as well. And Julius Randle, a guy that's a 33% career three-point shooter, going 5 of 6 from 3 doesn't really help your odds either.
No, and look, it's easy to say, hey, why didn't they score? And I know that's not what you're saying, but let's remember Minnesota's defense is fantastic. That being said, you know, that it's times like that, Brendan, that when we signed DeMar DeRozan, I was thinking, okay, you know, Harrison Barnes was like a very diet version of DeMar in the sense that when the team would get out of sorts, when they'd have scoring droughts, you know, Harrison would usually drive to the basket, draw a foul, and just at least get points on the board. This is the part where I wanted DeRozan to be a factor more, and you just can't have there's going to be runs. There's going to be ebbs and flows. Of course, it's the NBA. That's going to happen. But this is something that happened last year. This is something that happened last night. And they're going to have a long, long season if they can't figure that out.
Yeah, I'd say overall, I think your initial point is kind of where I'm at, that Minnesota's a really good defense. And I don't think that the Karl-Anthony Towns, Julius Randle swap really changes much of that. There's a little bit of a difference of, you know, they're not going to put Cat on their big and let Rudy Gobert be able to kind of free roam in almost a safety role where he's really able to mess up the game in that way. But they were the best defense in the league last year. That's where they made their money, and offensively is where their struggles should be. It was just, like I mentioned, I mean, Randall kind of had a big game that really kept them in there. A couple of mistakes from the Kings in the third quarter allowed them to not put that one away. But I think the shot profile stands out to me. They only took 29 threes. I think the marker is probably closer to a 35 mark that they're aiming for this year. Last year it was about 40, but obviously DeMar DeRozan being a mid-range specialist and just, I mean, as efficient as he is at that shot, you're going to live with taking a few more of those. But I think for the most part, you take your percentages against what was the best defense in the league last year, and you still see them. I think they're just as talented in that aspect this year.
Yeah, Brendan, that's what I was talking about with Dave. It's like it's the fine line of finding the strengths of DeMar DeRozan, like you said, the mid-range, getting to the foul line. That's a weapon. I mean, that's something the Kings didn't have before, but also still hitting the strengths of everyone else with their three-point ability, spreading the floor, getting the offense in a rhythm. And that's the only thing I felt about DeMar last night. I thought he was good. I thought there was a couple times, though, that it didn't look like the Kings offense that we're used to, and maybe we'll get used to this, but a few more ISOs, a few more dribbles. Even on a night where he was good, I felt like they didn't get the best of everyone, and I think that's the next task for Mike Brown and DeMar in their offense to figure out how they can get all the best pieces of everybody.
Yeah, and I think it's the natural developmental sort of curve. You know, it's game one of the regular season we're still talking about here. I think preseason works is a little bit of an adjustment period, but you're not going to go all out when you're a little bit, you know, later into your career like DeRozan. I don't think like Fox has the same motivation in preseason, for example. So, yeah, I mean, I think that you're really just kind of ironing out the kinks. There is going to be a difference. 29 threes they only shot less than 30, exactly at that same 29 mark once all of last season. They did it 6 times in the year prior, and those are the only times since Mike Brown has taken over as head coach. So, I think stylistically there are just going to be some differences, specifically when it comes to that shot profile with when you add a guy like DeMar DeRozan. But I think for the most part, that stabilizing presence that HB had sometimes, that DeMar kind of provided that. He got to the line 14 times, which I don't know about you guys, but I had a realization yesterday about, I know that he gets to the line, obviously, but I don't think I really pieced together that meant, oh, we're going to be watching some long basketball games. There was a couple coaches' challenges in there as well that kind of prolonged some of the action. But for the most part, I thought that he fit in fairly well for what is his first game. 7 of 18 from the field. I think you take that, mention him getting to the free throw line. It's just that shot profile that I think is going to be in a little bit of an adjustment, and maintaining that offensive flow in the half court, I think is where they hope DeRozan can make a big impact, and saw it a little bit last night, but that's going to be a continual process.
1 assist, as we talked to Brendan Nunez, our Sacktown Sports Kings insider. 1 assist for Domantas Sabonis. We were just going over his low for the year last year was 2 against the Knicks. 15 points in 37 minutes for De'Aaron Fox. Those are both way, way, way below their season averages from last year. Is that the DeMar DeRozan effect? Is that to you just first game of the year? Is that something to keep an eye on?
I got to watch back that game a little bit today as well to get a slightly better feel for the specifics of it. But I would say that it's a combination of both of what you mentioned, along with Minnesota playing they're allowed to play a unique defense because they have Rudy Gobert as that back line. Really, all of their perimeter guys are doing that. They're guarding the perimeter and really funneling you towards Gobert. So I think that makes it a little bit difficult it makes you lean more towards pick and rolls rather than dribble handoffs when it comes to sort of how you're running a 2-man game with Sabonis. And I think that combined with your scoring a lot in transition, Minnesota had 17 turnovers that Sacramento forced, and they scored 22 points off of it. A lot of points in the paint that we saw for the Kings as well. 40 of their points came from right there, which both of those, not the most prone to Domas assists. So I would say that, a little bit of a learning curve for sure, but for the most part, I actually think it's Minnesota's defense and the way that their perimeter defenders aren't able to really just emphasize denying the 3-point line and beyond, since they have that back line of Rudy.
Brendan, the Kings played 10 guys, and I think that's what we thought they would do about that 10. Maybe McLaughlin was kind of the mystery man. Would he get in? He did not. But just on minutes, heavy minutes for Keegan and DeRozan and several starters. What did you think of the kind of the rotation and the minute distribution?
Mike Brown said a couple times, he repeated it last night, he said it at the couple practices in a row leading up to it, that this is one of the worst feels he's had for a team coming into training camp. And every time he says it, I'm like, man, I don't know if you should be saying this. But I appreciate the honesty. I think that you're seeing him lean on the guys that what you have out of them. All of the starters outside of Kevin Huerter play at least 35 minutes. Kevin Huerter flirts with 20. You have Malik Monk at 26. And then nobody else has more than 11. Keon at 11. Trey Lyles at 11. Alex Len at almost 6. 5.5 for Doug McDermott. So I think that he is still very much trying to figure out what the 7, even 6 really through 9 to 10 in his rotation may be. I will say, like, when the starting lineup came out yesterday, it stood out to me that Isaac Jones, two-way player, was technically active and available for that game. Could there have been a situation where if things weren't going well, maybe those 5 minutes that McDermott got could have potentially gone to Isaac Jones? So I think that Mike's been very transparent. Like I said, that this is still a learning process for him, getting a feel for the newer guys on the team, some that are still coming back from injury. Like, I thought Trey Lyles looked really rough yesterday. When he came in the game, was part of that third quarter stretch for Minnesota, and Minnesota was very determined to be like, let's get that guy involved in the action. And it went well for them for the most part. So I understand why he only felt comfortable leaning on 6. I would say Keon Ellis is the one that I probably personally wouldn't have minded to see get a little bit more run. But for the most part, it's just a coach still trying to get a feel for what certain guys at the end of his bench that he hasn't gotten a good look at throughout the course of training camp and preseason can really provide and bring to this team. And it might say something about the depth, but I'm kind of holding off a little bit until Mike Brown is able to get a little bit of a better feel before I'm fully inking that take in.
Last question, and we're almost out of time, Brendan, so let's both be quick here. I just want to go back to your thing on Minnesota's defense, which is well taken. I looked at the 3 games the Kings and Timberwolves played last year, and Domantas Sabonis averaged 7 assists a game. De'Aaron Fox averaged 32 points a game. So in both those cases, obviously larger sample size, those are better. Your implication is that it's Minnesota's defense, not the presence of DeMar DeRozan or much of anything else. So does that lead to their defense perhaps being even better and more switchable without Karl-Anthony Towns? Because that's really the only difference other than DeRozan for the most part in these 2 starting lineups.
Yeah, I would say a big difference is you're kind of more comfortable putting Rudy on Domas. I think that was kind of the case last year, and then you ended up with Cat chasing around Harrison Barnes. This year it's Julius Randle chasing around Keegan Murray. So I do think there are like game specific instances that led to Domas getting his 1 assist. But I think for the most part, like, yeah, there's, DeMar could have gotten the ball from Domas and just taken 3 dribbles instead of 2. Like I said, I got to go back and kind of watch the specifics of all of those moments, but I would say for the most part, a fairly similar Minnesota defense, and the Kings did approach it a bit of a different way. Really, that shot profile stands out a lot to me. A lot of mid-range looks that, were taken after a few dribbles and not very much ball movement. So definitely still think that, like I said, Minnesota and the way they play defense factored in here, but the Kings could have taken some better shots and moved the ball a bit better within their flow.
All right, that's our Sacktown Sports Kings insider. He and Frank, that's Brendan Nunez, doing great work on our site and Twitter, everywhere. You can follow them and find them, all their great work. Brendan, thank you for joining us. We'll keep this going all season long, and we'll talk to you again next week.
Appreciate you guys. It's nice being up around this time, let me tell you.
Is it?
Yeah,
Is it early?
Yeah, it's a whole new world out here.
Wait till about 3 p.m., dude.
Yeah, then it kicks in. Thanks, Brent.
Appreciate it, guys.
All right, that's Brendan Nunez. He'll that wall will hit him. We know that, Dave. All right,
it will.
It will. Break time for us when we come back more into this game. A little more a locker room reaction, more from Dave and I on Game 1, the loss to the T-Wolves by 2. We've got that next.
The NFL's leading rusher plays here.
The handoff to McCaffrey, walks in the end zone. Handoff to McCaffrey, takes it right down to the goal line. He does his thing again. McCaffrey goes in motion right. Backwards pass led by Juszczyk. A block there. Hurdles a man. 10, 5, touchdown! CMC!
You can hear all of Christian McCaffrey's touchdowns on your home for 49ers football. Sacktown Sports.
All the hottest events. This is your Sacktown Sports live events calendar. First up, all this month, take the family to Dave's Pumpkin Patch for hay rides, corn mazes, and fall fun for everyone. It's the perfect way to celebrate the season. Next, David Spade brings his sharp wit to Hard Rock Live Sacramento on November 22nd. And the comedy continues with the hilarious Russell Peters taking the stage at Hard Rock Live on November 23rd. And if you're looking for some legendary music, Legends of Motown will have you grooving to all your favorite classics at Thunder Valley on the same night, November 23rd. Then get festive with the Jersey Boys Midtown Men Holiday Show on December 8th at Thunder Valley. And kicking off the new year, Dylan Scott with Jackson Dean and Avery Anna are bringing their country hits to Thunder Valley on January 10th. So get out there and enjoy the best live events Sacramento has to offer. For tickets and event details, visit sacktownsports.com.
Carmichael Dave.
He has very good sources, and he just kind of tells it as it is and gets to the point.
Jason Ross.
He has a lot of pretty smart things to say. He's good at what he does.
On Sacktown Sports.
But I saw a lot of good things from our guys throughout the course of the game. Again, it's about us staying disciplined enough to play possession after possession after possession the right way. And I got to give Julius credit. I mean, he shot the mess out of the ball tonight from the three. He's 5 for 6. I thought our guys did a decent job guarding the three. And if Julius goes 5 for 6, that's tough.
Mike Brown there talking post game. Dave, there's a saying out there, it's like, don't let a guy get going. I will say this, that kind of is what happened to me early on in that game with Randall. I thought, honestly, early in the game, for lack of a better term, he hit some garbage shots. But once you get then he saw the ball going through, and then he got really in a groove. I mean, he was becoming unstoppable. But sometimes when you see a few go in, you're like, why is he even what is he doing? Wow, that one went in, and then he got cooking.
Did I miss who did you have primarily guarding Julius Randle?
Yeah, I don't, I know they've got like new developments on like the exact defensive metrics on who guarded who for time, but the lineup, the way it started was what I thought it would be. It was DeRozan was on Randle to start. Herter had McDaniels, Fox had Conley, Sabonis, Gobert, and what am I missing? Keegan was on Ant. Yes. And so, but, to say that, it's like, no, DeRozan didn't give up all the points on Randle. Now he gave up some of them, quite a few, but they were hunting switches. There was a time they got, Herter on Randle a couple times. But, yeah, there was a lot of different people that guarded. But the way the starting five went is what I thought they would do, at least.
And I just let me, again, Mike Brown is a professional NBA coach, and, that doesn't mean he's immune from being questioned. But I'm aware that, I'm Ding Dong McGillicuddy and he's Mike Brown, but I don't understand the flaw in the following logic. You let the guy who has been on the shelf for about 8 months come off the bench. You start Keon Ellis, which allows you to match him up with Anthony Edwards. You switch Keegan Murray to Julius Randle. And you don't put the 36-year-old guy who is known at best as an average defender defending the multiple-time all-star who's all kinds of hot after he got that confidence. Like, I have a hard time believing that if Keon Ellis starts last night instead of Kevin Herter and matches up on Anthony Edwards and allows that defensive switch I just talked about to come to fruition, we're talking about a 2-point game here, that the Kings don't come away with the win. And by the way, we said that yesterday. We talked about that yesterday. This isn't backseat driving here. This was a major concern going into this game, was that defensive matchup.
Yeah, it's interesting. And again, I poke fun at this stat more than I utilize it, but there is a reason they have it. So plus minus is, for anybody that doesn't know, the minutes you're on the floor, whatever combination you're with, and they can do specific combinations, but just if we do it individually, the person that's on the floor, when they're on the floor for the amount of minutes they're on, is the team ahead or behind. And what's interesting is all the starters but Sabonis were positive, and really the bench, and again, I'm not picking on Keon because I'm with you. I think he could have played more. In his 11 minutes, they were 12 points worse. Now, is that his fault? Of course not. But it's just interesting. It's one, and you can't put all your thoughts in any stat, really. But I found that, in a game where they lost by 2, and like I said, led most of the game, the starters were actually more productive than the bench. And, yeah, I'm not even disagreeing with your point. I'm just bringing up this other side of it, which I don't know if it makes sense or not, but Herter was +9 when he was on the floor.
Yeah, Herter, and look, I don't want to crap all over Herter, and I also don't want to, make it sound like DeMar DeRozan gave up, as you said, he didn't give up all those Randall points. They were on switches. They were doing a lot of things.
Sure.
I if I've had a criticism of Mike Brown in the past, I don't like his rotations some of the times.
That's fair.
If I had, I think Mike Brown's 2 weakest spots, and one of them's kind of, roll your eyes at it, but his 2 weakest spots are his rotations and their decisions to challenge. And the second one might be that might be an illusion. You know, I've never really seen hard data on that, but it just seems that every other game I'm upset at a challenge that wasn't necessary. And by the way, I was thinking about that last night, because let's not forget, they also won a challenge with De'Aaron Fox fairly early on in the game.
Yeah.
And De'Aaron was very, very animated about calling for the challenge. And I'd love to get a coach on at some point and ask them this. You know, it's a real bad position because players are in the moment, they're emotional, and each player is different. A Malik Monk isn't going to be a Kevin Huerter, isn't going to be a Keon Ellis. We know that. But when you've got a player that is gesticulating wildly to you to challenge, and you're in this spot as a coach where you don't, and now you're basically calling the player a liar and saying, you know, your instincts aren't good enough for me to take this chance. But if you do listen to the player and you challenge, you can, as they found last night, you're out of timeouts in a key part of the game. So what I wonder, Jason, what I'd love it if a coach did is say, hey, look, just so you guys know, in a game, if you guys call for a challenge and we challenge it and the challenge is overturned and it's pretty clear, like, you have to run like 70 laps. There's got to be a punishment for these guys for begging for challenges if they fail.
I was thinking, I mean, we are on the exact same page on that, because when it happened, Fox doesn't do that very often. It's in the first half. He's so adamant. It's like, and he's going right at Brandon's like, do it. You know, it's like, I you know, if I'm the coach, I'm like, all right, this is our franchise guy. I've got to call this. It doesn't make a lot of sense. It's in the first half. And De'Aaron was right. And they got the challenge, but you're going, I mean, is this the best time to do it in the first half? But anyway, and then the second one, I will say this. I think there was two things about it. One, I think time and score, it made sense just because of, like, if you won it, that was a pretty valuable possession with 25 seconds left. But also there was one camera angle that they showed on the big board right away. And I'm like, ooh, because De'Aaron didn't react like it was a bad call. So I'm like, they probably got it right. But then there was one camera angle that made it look like, oh man, I don't think De'Aaron did touch it last. And I think the whole arena saw it and everybody made a bunch of fuss. And then they challenged. I'm like, yeah, I think they're going to win this challenge. And then we saw a couple more replays. I went, oh, you know what? I don't know anymore. So some of that has to be done so quickly. But I would not say that's been a strength of the Kings in the last couple of years at all.
No, it hasn't. I know we got a break here with 4 Down territory coming up, and I know, Jason, we have a lot more, not just on the Sacramento Kings, but Greg Papa joining us at 9 and celebrity birthdays, Friday fun and games. So lot to talk about here today on the day after opening day, my friend.
Yeah, and you know, it's only one. There's a lot of, hey, it's only one, and that's true. But you also like, okay, there's things that are going to continue down this same road. That stuff we'll discuss. Dave and I have got much more, like he said, when we come back. We will get into some football. It is Niners and Cowboys week. It's a huge game. Greg Papa at 9. But next, what's your lock? What's your upset of the week? We got 4 Down territory coming up.
Did you miss any part of our live local shows? Don't worry, you never have to miss them again. Check out SackdownSports.com and search our podcast page and play our shows when you want. The Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross, Stiles and Watkins, and The Drive Guys. Plus, other podcasts like Return of the Empire, Return of the Roar, The Stingers Up podcast, and Golf to Go with Frank LaRosa.
They're all available right now on SacktownSports.com.
Whitey here, reminding you that not all grills are created equal. Give your family a real treat. Bring out all the flavors of the upcoming holidays with the amazing Napoleon Prestige line of outdoor cookers. Napoleon grills that features other grills can't match. They're built different, built better, built to last, complete with a lifetime warranty. All made with premium steel that boasts absolute quality. Just because it's October does not mean we can't barbecue outside. Visit California Backyard now for your best selection of grills and Napoleon Grills accessories.
Don't you deserve healthcare you can count on? Well, you can count on United Healthcare with Medicare plans that fit your life today and as your needs change tomorrow. You can enjoy reliable coverage and low out-of-pocket costs with a Medicare Advantage plan from United Healthcare. United Healthcare Medicare Advantage plans, made for California, trusted everywhere. The Medicare annual enrollment period ends December 7th, so go to uhc.com/Medicare today.
At the law offices of Dale R. Gomes, we understand that when you're facing a crisis, you need more than just a lawyer. You need a team. Our dedicated attorneys work together, combining decades of experience to guide you through personal injury or criminal defense matters with care and expertise. We're committed to supporting you every step of the way, ensuring your voice is heard and your rights are protected. With offices in Sacramento and El Dorado County, reach out to the law offices of Dale R. Gomes today, 916-999-9033, or online at dalegomslaw.com.
Carmichael Dave here from my good friends at American Energy. Cool weather, if not cold weather, is in our future. You know that. It'll eventually get there, and American Energy wants to make sure your system is operating safely and properly. So now is the time to take advantage of the $49 fall tune-up inspection. That's regularly $119, but includes a full safety and duct inspection. And if your system's over 10 years old, it's free. The tune-up is on American Energy. Give them a call right now. They're offering $50 off your first recommended repair, or if you need a new furnace, that's half off the price of a new unit. American Energy been serving the greater Sacramento area since 1981. A+ with the Better Business Bureau. You can check them out at theaeway.com for an instant quote. That's theaeway.com. Tell them Carmichael Dave sent you.
Call 916-520-9998 now.
Don't let summer energy slip away. Live the active life you love year-round with a personally fit arch support system from the Good Feet store. Precision engineered to support all four arches. Good Feet puts your feet in a more ideal, comfortable, and pain-free position. And Good Feet arch supports are now HSA and FSA eligible. Book a free fitting at goodfeet.com or come in and get a free pair of OS First Performance socks. Free. Normally a $25 value at the Good Feet store.
Get ready for an incredible night as the iconic Little River Band hits the stage at the Nugget Casino Resort Grand Ballroom. Join us Saturday, November 16th at the Nugget Grand Ballroom for an unforgettable concert experience. You'll hear all your favorites in this must-see event of classic rock. The Little River Band live at the Nugget Casino Resort Grand Ballroom. For tickets and info, visit nuggetcasinoresort.com.
Shop Big O Tires now through November 3rd and fall into savings with up to $120 instant savings on 4 select in-stock tires with installation purchase. Big O Tires, the team you trust. Installation required. Disposal fees extra. Not valid with other offers. See Big O dealer for details.
Don't miss Stoney's Rockin' Rodeo's Halloween bashes this weekend. That's right. Stoney has Halloween costume contests each night, including Sexiest, Scariest, and Best, and a superhero/villain contest this Sunday night. Winners get a dash for cash on the dance floor, free late night food, country dancing, and Halloween fun all weekend long. I'll see you on the dance floor.
The Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross.
Call or text at 916-339-1140.
On Sacktown Sports.
We are spanning the globe with you today on the show. We got Carmichael Dave in New York, Jason Ross, Christopher Laud here in Sacramento. Dave still has to go back to England. Like, my goodness, the miles you are getting in. Good for you.
Yeah.
Well, not good for your sleep and your whereabouts and all that, though.
No, it's a blast, though. I'm not complaining. Honestly, It's just trying to find things to do on a plane. I got this thing called a Steam Deck, which allows me to, it's like a Nintendo Switch. It lets you play all kinds of video games.
Yeah. You brought everything.
I did bring everything. In fact, I'm going to leave. I left stuff this time in England. I'm actually, it's the first time I'm leaving things there. So that I don't have to, no, I just, that way I don't have to lug it back and forth. It was shout out to my wife who finally said, why don't you just leave some stuff there? You keep going back. And I went, hey, I can leave some shoes and a suit or two. It's not like I'm wearing suits at home. Set the screen. So I downloaded this game, Jason, called Dave the Diver, not because it says Dave, about a guy who goes in the ocean and runs a sushi thing. And everyone says it's a great game. But if somebody out there has played Dave the Diver, 916-339-1140 on the text line, 1-800-920-1140. At some point, I won't do this on the day after the Kings play, but at some point, I got to give you the list of video games that I've downloaded on this thing that I'm going to break out, and maybe I can get a recommendation on Twitter as to what to play.
Wait, Dave the Diver is a guy that dives in the ocean to make sushi?
He like dives in the ocean and makes sushi, and it's like a little sim game. Plus, you like, I don't know, fight sharks or something. I don't know. I watched the IGN review. It was cool. What do you want? What do you want from me,
dork?
Well, you know what, dude? I mean, honestly, I know we have important things to get to, but I got Kingdom Hearts, Tomb Raider, The Witcher, Doom, Hogwarts Legacy, BioShock 2.
I know you like Harry Potter.
I do have Harry Potter years 1 through 4 Lego, Shadow of War, Shadow of Mordor, and Batman, all the Arkham whatevers. Those are the ones that I haven't played yet that I have to choose from.
Dork.
Jason?
Stick with Dave the Diver.
Where's Tetris?
Dave the Diver.
Yeah. Where's Pac-Man?
Where's Tron?
No,
Tron.
I do have
Deadly
I
Disc.
do have my Punch Out in a couple of Nintendo games, I guess. And you know what I'm going to end up doing? I'm going to end up playing Royal Match the whole time.
I know you are. Oh my goodness. All right, let's jump into it, guys. It's time for a little football discussion here on a Kings game. Again, we're back to Kings here. We got a recap of 3 in the key. In our next segment, let's go to 4 down territory. Gentlemen, first down.
What is your lock of the week in the NFL?
Oh, this one, I almost feel bad picking it. I really almost feel bad picking it, but it's the only one there for me. Ravens, Browns. Deshaun Watson is out. Yeah, I want to let my guy Jameis Winston eat, but the Ravens are too good. The Browns have given up on the season. They're all in for a pick. Myles Garrett's going to be a 49er soon. Give me the Ravens in Cleveland.
Okay. There's some wild spreads, some big favorites this week. So I'm going to try to keep one that's a little bit closer. So I'm trying here, but we'll go. Jacksonville spent 2 weeks over where you are. It sounds like they're from London. They're all over the place. But they're back. They're back at home and they're playing the Packers. I like the Packers. They've been playing good football lately. So give me the Packers on the road in Jacksonville as my lock of the week. All right, Chris, second down.
What is your upset of the week in the NFL?
I'm going to do it because if I get it, I get to have a lot of fun with it next week. Because it could also be my lock of the week, too. It probably should be my lock. In fact, you could make an argument that I should switch my locks and my upsets, that I should be saying Cleveland because the shadow of Deshaun Watson is gone, is going to rally behind Jameis Winston at home. And this next game should 100% be my lock of the week. But I ain't going to do it because it's a division game. And stranger things have happened, and things go crazy in Las Vegas.
No.
Give me the Raiders ownage over the Kansas City Chiefs, handing them their first loss of the season.
Are you on goofball pills or something?
Yes. Well, take that.
There you go. Wow. Raiders. Okay. Well, it's down. Hey, don't say that Dave doesn't love you, Raider fans. He's out there for you. I'm going to go with the team that's decimated by injury at the receiver position, but Dave Richard earlier in the show may have influenced me about what they still have there. Baker Mayfield's playing well. They're at home. They're underdogs. They just had a loss this week. I'm going to take Tampa. They're underdog at home on Atlanta. They can cover that. They can win that game. So give me the Buccaneers. All right, Chris, next one, third down.
Which NFL game would you like to attend this week?
Sorry, I'm going to take the easy way out here.
Yep.
Give me Sunday Night Football, Levi Stadium, Niners, Cowboys, 2 very proud franchises, 2 very not great franchises right now. Niners need the win. I love them to death. That's where I want to be. Sunday Night Football, easy answer.
I mean, the only other consideration, I guess, would be Cincinnati. I know they're under 500, but they're playing the Eagles. Like, that's interesting. But, Dave, you're right. That's the answer. There's history. It's local. Part of it would be going on a trip, but sure, it'd be an easy trip to get down there. Niners need the game. Cowboys need the game. Yeah, that's the game to go to. Certainly Sunday night. I agree. All right, let's get to fourth down.
Which college game would you like to attend most this week?
This one's a little more interesting. I'm going to apologize, if you will, to the Oregon Ducks who are hosting Illinois. I'll apologize to Alabama, who's playing Missouri at home in a top 25 matchup, and I'll also offer an apology to Texas A&M versus LSU. That's kind of a fun matchup. And again, Jason, we like the barbecue, we like the tailgating, but to me, it's a crisp October day in Annapolis, Maryland. And you want to talk about what college football means? The leaves are changing, the turtlenecks are out, and Navy is 6-0, and they are hosting Notre Dame at 6-1. Notre Dame and Navy, a combined 12-1 in Maryland. Give me that game, and then I'll go do How You Like Them Apples and other East Coast things. Have a blast.
Well, I know your team's not playing well. I was a little surprised you weren't still going to go for the Miami Florida State game. I know.
Come on.
Yeah, okay, I'll leave that one alone. Besides, of course, the Stingers up and being in lovely Pocatello, Idaho this time of year. That game I'm excited to be there for. This one's a total stretch, and I may be off the mark, but I just have the hunch that there's something going to be really wild going on in a place that's known for basketball. Indiana is somehow 7-0, and they're 13th ranked and moving up, and people are talking about them more. And I got to believe, Dave, they'd be going crazy. There's no history really with them in Washington, so it's not about that. It's about being at Indiana for football. I bet of all the games this week, that's weird how much of an atmosphere they must have, how excited they must be, kind of that first time having a revival season. So that I'm going to go on a whim. I'm going to do a wild card this week and head to Indiana to check out them in Washington.
You really kind of did the same thing there. Like it's so much about the atmosphere, and I'm with you. Indiana in October, when everything's all fall and awesome and crisp, and you're going to be out there watching actual relevant Indiana football. Which when was the last time we could say that? That's not bad, Jason. You go to Indiana. I'm going to go to go see Navy Notre Dame, and let's text each other pictures of those games.
Okay, we'll do it. We will do it. And what we'll do next, we're going to go streaking. It's finally back because the World Series Game 1 is tonight. We're going to find out who's hot and who's not. And we'll see how we did on our predictions of the first three in the key on the Kings-Timberwolves game. We will do that when we return right here on Sacktown Sports.
Keegan Murray plays here.
Keegan scores another three-pointer. Keegan Murray knocking it down for 23 points. Match De'Aaron Fox for game scoring honors.
Sacktown Sports is your proud home of the Sacramento Kings.
What's up? We're talking to Chad Hoblet of Hoblet Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram in Woodland. How are you celebrating Jeep Adventure Days?
By helping you save up to $16,000 off MSRP on all remaining new 2024 Jeep Grand Cherokee 4xEs. Plus, a lifetime of savings at the pump with 56 MPGE.
Oh, wow, that's huge savings, especially as gas prices seem to be going up and up again.
But that's not it. We have over 200 quality used cars available and 46 under $20,000 at the new Hoblet Certified Pre-Owned Supercenter in historic downtown Woodland.
If you need a vehicle new or used, your first stop needs to be at Hoblet. You won't find bigger savings on a better selection of vehicles anywhere. Search, select, and save through their whole inventory at HobletDodge.com. Unbeatable prices, unbeatable selection. Nobody beats Hoblet, period.
$16,000 total net savings on select new 2024 Jeep Grand Cherokee 4xEs after $4,750 dealer discount and $11,250 factory and federal rebates. Rebates include $7,500 national retail consumer cash and $3,750 federal EV tax credit, subject to third-party terms and availability. Consult a tax professional for details. At least 5% savings. See dealer for details.
When you switch and save with Progressive, you could use that money towards scoring courtside seats for your favorite team. Progressive cannot guarantee that you can score courtside seats. Drivers who switch and save with Progressive could save hundreds on average, but courtside seats can be astronomical. Maybe if your team plays in a smaller market, you could swing it. Even still, it's unlikely. Maybe fourth row, which are still incredible seats that you'll enjoy greatly. Savings possible. Courtside, long shot. Switch and see if you could save at Progressive.com. Progressive Casualty Insurance and Affiliates. Not available in all states. Progressive cannot guarantee that someone really tall will not sit in front of you at the game, rendering your excellent seats just okay.
Everywhere you look, things are getting more expensive. So at Consumer Cellular, we're lowering the price for those 50 and up. Now you can get unlimited talk, text, and data for $30 a line when you buy two. That's just $60 a month for two unlimited lines. So if you're 50 and up, make the switch and save. Come on, you've earned this. Call 1-888-FREEDOM or visit consumercellular.com today. Requires 2 lines of service, age validation, and credit approval, subject to system and area limits, taxes, and other fees apply.
Finally, an easy way to find home improvement contractors. Just visit subcontractorsunited.com and simplify your search for home services professionals. From cabinets to windows, roofing to plumbing, Subcontractors United is an easy, simple way to find and hire a home improvement contractor. And you never have to give up personal information. So no harassing phone calls like you get from those other websites. Subcontractorsunited.com is sponsored by D&D Cabinets and Savage Design.
Have you heard you can listen to your favorite news podcasts ad-free? Good news! With Amazon Music, you have access to the largest catalog of ad-free top podcasts included with your Prime membership. Enjoy shows like The Daily, Up First, and Consider This, available ad-free on Amazon Music. To start listening, download the Amazon Music app for free or go to amazon.com/ad-free. That's amazon.com/ad-free to catch up on the latest episodes without the ads.
Buying a home is one of the biggest financial decisions you'll ever make. Before you tour a home, the real estate professional you're working with may ask you to sign a buyer's agreement, which describes the services you'll receive, each party's role and responsibilities, and how your agent will be compensated, all of which you'll want to discuss with them up front. So work with an agent who's a realtor. Realtors are members of the National Association of Realtors with a duty to honestly represent you and put your interests above their own, because that's who we are.
Only one radio program captures the excitement of hunting and fishing as it happens. The award-winning California Sportsman with Sep Hendrickson. Only California Sportsman takes you where the action is. Live on the water, live in the blind, and live with the top pros and experts in outdoor sports. California Sportsman with Fishing Hall of Famer Sep Hendrickson is your premier destination for all things outdoors. Sep's Saturday Morning Outdoors. Ultimate Bass and California Sportsman, 5 a.m. to 8 a.m. Saturdays on Sacktown Sports 1140.
What's hot and what's not. Brought to you by American Energy Heat and Air, making the uncomfortable comfortable. Head to AmericanEnergyAir.com to find out more.
What's hot?
Yeah, hot. Real hot. And what's not?
It's not good. Brought to you by American Energy Heating and Air, Sacramento's complete heating and cooling company, and second opinion partner.
All right, Chris, who or what is hot?
University of Pittsburgh football.
Okay.
Yesterday, they beat Syracuse 41-13 and are the only FBS team in the last 25 years to have 3 pick sixes in the first half of a game.
Interesting. Way to go, Pitt football.
That's who I was going to say that too. Obviously,
you knew it, huh?
It's a regular and who's hot and who's not.
But let's see, Dave, if you know. Who do you think is not? Just as a guess, going ahead.
The Sacramento Kings.
Wrong again, Dave.
Yeah, wrong again.
Oh, sorry. Oh, my bad.
Who's not?
Golden One Center opening night fans.
Oh.
Wow.
Tell.
Since Golden One has been open, the Kings are 1-8 on opening nights. Their only win was on December 26, 2020, where the only people allowed in the building were cutouts.
Oh. Great on home openers with cutouts. They've never won a home opener at Golden One with real fans in the building.
And, look, this, I always get crap for this. I always do. And
you want the cutouts back? Dave wants the fans gone.
He doesn't want any fans in the building.
No, look, we have the best fans in the world, bar none, and I'm on record. Why do you think there's a but?
I don't know. I'm
gonna for the YouTube fans. I'm gonna pull this from our colleague Chris Watkins' Twitter. I took a screenshot. This is the third quarter. I sent you guys this on your personal phones, but you can look at it on YouTube. Okay. Look at the circle I've shown. This is the front row and the first few rows of Golden One Center. I'm assuming this is almost certainly the start of the third quarter. And there's basically one guy in the front row, like literally one guy front and center. And that's Vivek Ranadive. Vivek Ranadive is the owner of the team, if you didn't know that.
He's locked in.
He's locked in. He made it out from his whatever to whatever Vivek does at halftime. He has his own little ante room that he goes in and I don't know, hatches plans or something, whatever rich people do. and I don't know. And then he comes out and he's there. But the great thing about Golden One Center is they've got all kinds of lounges and food and amazing things. The bad thing about Golden One Center is they have all kinds of lounges and food and amazing things to do. And if you look at the third quarter energy to really start the games half the time.
Oh, my bad.
Can I be honest? That like never gets old.
I said that to Chris yesterday. I go, I absolutely love when you do that.
But it honestly, like, I don't know what the solution is. I don't, because it's not the fans' fault. Like you have lines, bathroom, food, whatever. It's their only chance to get up. Like I want to be clear. I'm not blaming the fans for the lack of energy in the third quarter, because you absolutely, like, I've been late to third quarter. Same thing, because you go to games. I said it again, didn't I?
I know. We both, Chris and I made magic.
I wanted you to get to your point.
What I hope is, I don't know what the solution is either, but here's the fact. The first few minutes of every third quarter, half the lower bowl is gone and the energy is weird. And I don't know what the solution is. Damn it. I don't know what the solution is, but I just know that it's a thing. And I think that's why we suck in third quarters, and that's why we didn't make the playoffs last year. But it's not a big deal. But
I will say this, as someone that is lucky enough to have been given seats that have been given access to the lounge, I'm going to take every single second that I can to make sure that I get everything that seat is worth.
Wow.
I mean, they do have like free sushi and stuff in there. I'm not gonna lie, and they have candy.
Free candy.
They do, but can't you just, like, they also have a countdown clock in there. I've been in the Lexus Lounge and the other ones. It's like, can't maybe in the lounges the Kings can do a better job and like have a pre-recording of Scott Moak that comes on super loud in all the lounges when everyone's hobnobbing and some people got their buzz on and they're networking and buying and selling, whatever rich people do. Maybe they could have a pre-recording of Scott Moak when it hits the 5-minute mark. I think it's a 20-minute halftime. When it hits 5 minutes, and have him be like, 5 minutes, time to get back to your seats, everybody. 5 minutes. And by the way, it's all free in there, so it's not like they're losing money. In fact, the Kings might make a little bit of money because everybody's going to have less free crap. Lexus Lounge, I think, has free beer and wine, or at least they did last year. No, they do. They have free beer and wine. Not all the beers and not all the wines, but whatever the house wine is and whatever the house beer is. Last time I checked, it was free in the Lexus Lounge. So, like, just fix it somehow. Get people back out there, man. Give them like little pins or something.
You know that our arena is like one of the most technologically savvy arenas,
number one arena
in the world. I think there should be come up with some sort of software that where they get the names of people and then just start shaming them when it gets down to 3 minutes. Hey, Frank Johnson, you're not in your seat. Get back over there. Bill Thompson, stop feeding yourself. Get back out there.
And bring Frank Johnson with you.
Or maybe we go a different thing, like when the Oscars have seat fillers.
Oh, that'd be great. You know, Kings fans would love that. Oh, seat
How
fillers.
about if
you, and then you get that for like a cheaper price, like say it's like $20, and it's like you do not get a seat at the arena, but once people leave, it's your job, and the lower levels specifically, it's your job to go down there, and you have to act as crazy as possible.
No, but you also have to, like the Oscars, dress glamorously, be in a suit. Or a dress, full-length dress.
What if you did a thing where, like, if you're not back in your seat, unless with after 5 minutes is gone in the third, if you're not back in your seat, they trade your seat with something kind of like what you're saying. So, like, if you're sitting in section 212, it's like, hey, congratulations, you just got upgraded. And then, like, rich guy in the front row is like, what's going on? What are you doing here, poor? And then poor guy's like, he holds up a little banner and says, oh, hold on a second. Thank you very much. I'm getting coffee delivered. Look at that. Coffee delivered. Just such a nice gentleman that handles all the food and beverage here. And he saw that
This
I
is the
might be
height of
drooping a little bit.
luxury.
It really, really is. That's what I'm saying. Let's name and shame, guys. Let's name, shame, and dox. That's what we do.
That's all.
You know what? I think we're finally on the same page, Dave.
We got there. This far into
You
the
know
show.
why?
I think
Here's
for
the only
different reasons. But we're on the same page.
The only reason Chris and I are forming a very temporary, very fragile truce. I want the energy to be better at Golden One Center. Chris wants rich people to suffer. That's the only reason we're on the same page right now. Chris does not care about the Kings. He doesn't care about you or your show. Shout out Marty Mack. But he does care about making rich people suffer. Thank you. Look, is this a tart? It's a what? I got a mincemeat pie, guys.
How about
Look,
that? Oh, it's a
How
little
about
fella.
that? It is. It's got little leaves
Nice.
on it. It's great. All right, we got a break.
No, not just yet. We got a few more things here. Let's
Very
go.
quickly.
Very quickly.
never
Let's
mind. Sorry.
recap 3 in the key.
Sorry.
We're doing that first, Chris, or the other
How about
one?
we go streaking?
Well, let's go streaking first.
It's time to go streaking.
We're going streaking!
Who is the Nostradamus of MLB? Who can keep the streak going? It's time to go streaking.
What the hell are you doing?
We're streaking. All right, it's been a while, and so let's remind everybody, Dave, you're at 2. I'm at 4. Chris is at 2. Dave, you can pick anybody from the Dodgers or Yankees, but your 2-game hitting streak has Shohei Ohtani and Mookie Betts, so they are off the board for you.
Give me Jonathan Carlos Stanton.
Jonathan Carlos Stanton. John Carlos Stanton. All right, I'm at 4. I had Torres, Nimmo, Judge, Soto. So to hopefully get me to 5, I'm going to take Chris's pick, Alex Verdugo.
Yeah.
Chris, you're at 2. You got the whole board open. You have 2 Mets on your 2-game hitting streak with Iglesias and Lindor.
I will take Mookie Betts.
Mookie Betts. All right. To wrap up the hour, let's do a recap. Whoa.
Wow.
Of 3 in the key. All right. We asked the show first points of the season. That was
I thought it was first field goal.
First points of the season. Dave went with Sabonis. I went with Fox. Chris went with DeRozan. The first points, 1-0. DeMontis Sabonis. Dave gets the square.
See, I would like to challenge this because he said first points. He only got the first point.
Well, here's where
Oh,
the
you
challenge
know
is
what?
interesting.
Shut up.
I then asked the last Sacramento basket, not points, so basket. And Dave guessed McDermott. I guessed Fox. Chris guessed DeRozan. Well, we've got the last basket, and here's how it sounded.
Saves it from going out of bounds. Ahead to Monk. Stutter step. Top of the foul circle. Retreats to three-point range to balance. Now drives on DiVincenzo. Stops. Banks it home, and he's fouled.
Malik Monk just straight manhandled DiVincenzo, took him to the rim, took the contact, and scored the M1G.
Well, Malik Monk got the last basket. He made the free throw. Kings went up 115-114, but would lose by 3. Our random stat, Dave, you said 4 steals for Fox. He had 1. I said the Timberwolves would miss 2 free throws, and it is Mountain Mike's. Missed twice, get a slice. That did not happen. And Chris said DeRozan would light the beam. That did not happen either. So we got to work on it. We will work on it, though, in the next hour. When we start the next hour, it's Cowboys and Niners. Niners at 9. Greg Papa, the voice of the Niners, joins us when we come back.
You never know what you might hear when listening to a Sacramento Kings game.
Out of Keegan, going for another triple. Man, is he feeling it. Keegan, can he do it? Yes, there's number 11, Keegan Murray. Keegan steps back. He just knocked down his 12th three-pointer, a Kings franchise record. He's got 45 points.
Never miss a moment of Sacramento Kings basketball with Sacktown Sports and the Sacktown Sports app.
Harlem Pilates. When I couldn't find Pilates in my neighborhood, I started a studio from my studio apartment. Chase Inc. helped me grow from 1 Pilates studio to 3. Because when you start small, you're going to need some big help.
With the Chase Inc. Business Cash Card, you can earn up to 5% cash back on business essentials, so your business can go from here to possible. Chase for Business. Make more with yours. Real business owner compensated for their participation. Cards issued by J.P. Morgan Chase Bank and a member FDIC. Subject to credit approval. Terms apply.
Whether you're ordering wings for the game, whipping up a 7-layer dip, or ordering pizza, there's something about football that makes you want to eat. And this football season, Uber Eats has the best deals on game day food. No matter what you're craving, from 2-for-1 pizza to buy one, get one wings, Uber Eats will be dropping new deals each week, all season long. Uber Eats, official on-demand delivery partner of the NFL. Order now. Terms and conditions apply. See app for details.
The first big sale of the year on the all-new 2025 Silverado is on at Maida Chevy. Get $8,000 off MSRP after rebates. Every new 2025 half-ton LT, RST, LTZ, and High Country in stock at Maida Chevy. And Maida Chevy has the largest selection of new 2025 Silverados in the Sacramento area. $8,000 off new 2025 Silverado at Maida Chevy. Now that's big, huge. MaidaChevy.com. Together, let's drive.
Not available with special financing leases. Some offers ends 10/31/24. Source internet search 10/17/24.
For 76 years, the Keys family from Naturewood Home Furnishings has been serving families just like yours and mine. Hi, I'm Frank LaRosa with Golf to Go. The Naturewood team takes great pride and significant effort to offer Northern California families a vast selection of home furnishings, most of which are made right here in this country. The kitchen table, which we purchased so many years ago, speaks to the enduring quality of the Naturewood product lines. We treasure memories made seated around that table with family and friends for birthday celebrations, school projects, and many late-night meals when the day just got away from us. Naturewood has provided thousands with home furnishings that not only last for generations, but also lead to everlasting memories of cherished times. Visit Naturewood Home Furnishings now during their 76th anniversary sale and get started making your own brand of memories. Meet the Keys family at Naturewood Home Furnishings, off Highway 50 at Hazel. Look for the water wheel.
Did you know that replacing garage doors is the biggest return on investment homeowners can get on improvements? Jason Ross here, and let me tell you about the Overhead Door Company of Sacramento, a family-owned and operated company with third-generation owners that's been in business for 71 years right here in Sacramento. With new garage doors from Overhead Door Company of Sacramento, you'll not only get the wow factor, but you'll also know that you're working with a well-respected and proven company. Residential and commercial, brand new garage doors, or repairs to existing doors, they do it all. Take advantage of their free at-home estimates on new garage doors or check out the showroom with no appointment needed. And while you're at it, mention me, Jason Ross, or Sacktown Sports and receive $100 off a new garage door paired with a new garage door opener. Check out their website at ohdsac.com or call them at 916-421-3747. Overhead Door Company of Sacramento, the genuine, the original overhead door. Always look for the red ribbon logo.
Welcome back to another exciting game day. Grab your rally towels, throw on your jerseys, cheer, shout, and save on your gas. That's right. Sports fans win big on home game days. Score instant savings of 25 cents per gallon on Shell V-Power Nitro Plus Premium Gasoline with the Fuel Rewards program. And that's a victory for you and your tailgate team. Download the app, join the Fuel Rewards program today, and game on. Restrictions apply. Limited time. At participating Shell stations. For more details, visit fuelrewards.com.
Capital Casino, conveniently located on 411th North 16th Street in downtown Sacramento.
KHD HD1 Sacramento, KYMX HD3 Sacramento. From the Power Business Technology Toshiba Studios.
Sacktown Sports, 1140.
San Francisco!
He has nearly 40 years of broadcasting in Northern California. The voice of the San Francisco 49ers, Greg Papa. Sponsored by Sunpoint Public Adjusters, the gold standard of the public adjusting industry.
It's that time, Friday, 9 o'clock. We always check in with the voice of your San Francisco 49ers, and that is Greg Papa. Joining me, Jason Ross, Carmichael Dave here, and Greg Papa. Greg, good morning. How are you?
Good morning, guys. Cowboys week. Fun week this week on Sunday Night Football. How are you?
I got to check in with Dave first. Dave, you okay? We know the Niners have had some tough times. You hanging in there?
I just want to say, first off, it was I was in England during the game, and I tweeted out a video because they were showing on the Sky Sports, which is what does football over there. They were showing Niners highlights, and it was Greg Papa, which I thought was amazing because I was watching Greg Papa in my England hotel room. And then I'm a fan of Greg's, and he knows that. He knows I adore him as a human, but I think he's just literally one of the best play-by-play voices of all time, and he knows that. And I follow his work, so I heard him on a San Francisco radio station earlier this week, and he sounded very much like I do after Niner losses. He was making hard statements. I think the tweet was even titled like, Greg Papa is depressed about the game or something like that. So I know we normally do this. I get on the couch and Greg is the psychologist stuff after losses, but none of that crap today, Greg. You and I are both in the same boat. We are both worried about this team.
We are, and I got to hear more about your trip to Great Britain. Will Gavin is a great friend of ours, and our broadcaster on Tim and I, and what you guys hear on Sacktown Sports, and he's on weekly in England. So I've grown very close to our fan base there, so I know how great that is. But and last time I saw Will Gavin, who actually does some play-by-play over there when they have games in London, was at the Super Bowl. And the reason I was kind of in a reflective mood, and you may have heard my show on Monday or heard clips of it. So it was 252 days between February the 11th and the 49ers Chiefs going to overtime. And I know it was a tough loss, but one of the greatest Super Bowls ever played until October the 20th, which was the game on Sunday. And I just wanted to take a little bit of a check on where the Chiefs are, where the 49ers are. And I know they're 5-0, Kansas City going into the game. They were beatable in 2 or 3 of those games, but their defense is playing great. They got a running game going, and they got that quarterback, and they haven't lost a game. And the Niners, I know going into the game, we were 3-3, but could have been 5-1, picked a couple of games. So, we're playing well against Seattle. So I was just, where are we at? And I got to say, watching the game, we're a long ways away from the Kansas City Chiefs. We're a long ways away from being what the Niners were last year. We're just not playing well right now in any respect. We could not run the ball against them. We could not throw the ball against them. Now, you didn't have Juwan Jennings going into the game. You wake up the morning of the game, and Debo's got pneumonia. He's got an oxygen mask over his face. He looks peaked, and he looked awful. And then right before halftime, Brandon Ayuk not only tears his ACL, but he tears his MCL. And he's got other things going on there. So the whole thing is like, what? Who's going to play X receivers, E, F? We're having special teams breakdowns left and right. Still, they found a way to get within 14-12, and we're driving for a game go-ahead field goal, and Brock throws the ball. Where are you throwing the ball to? And they wind up intercepting, and 28-18 to me was not indicative of the scoreboard, Dave. It was Kansas City, like Kyle said, kicked their ass. And so where are they at right now? We're a long ways from the team that was so close to winning a Super Bowl. It feels like you're miles and miles and miles away. So let's be real. And a lot of it is McCaffrey's not playing and Dre Greenlaw's not playing. And a lot, you have your wide receivers, but they're just not the same team. And really, they're not the same team. I go back before February the 11th, the game Christmas night against the Baltimore Ravens. Since that point, Brock Purdy, the Niners are 6-6 since that game, and Brock has thrown 16 touchdown passes and 14 interceptions. You can't have multiple games. Whenever he throws more than one pick in a game, you can tolerate one pick. Mahomes throws one every game, but he can't throw 2, 3, 4 like he did on Christmas night. So I feel like they're going to still play good football, Dave, because we've seen glimpses of it against Seattle to get the 23-3 lead, against the Rams to get the 14-0, 21-7 lead. But they're breaking down, whether it's offense turning the ball over, not sustaining blocks in the low red zone, the defense being attacked on jet sweeps unmercifully and attacking the linebacker level, or special teams doing something heinous every single week. Let's keep it real. And that's what these guys got to do. And Kyle Shanahan is the most keep it real guy. You can criticize Kyle for a lot of things. He's a straight shooter. And he'll tell his team, we are failing here, there, here, not everywhere, but enough places where we're 3-4. And right now, they are in last place in the NFC West. The Rams won last night. They're 3-4. They beat the Niners. Arizona's 3-4. They beat the Niners. Seattle's got a better record. So I think we need to be real, whether we need to lie on couches, both of us together, and Jason talks us off the ledge, whatever it is, they got to get their act together. And don't think you just show up on Sunday and the panacea is beating the Cowboys like you do every year. Dallas is coming off their bye. Their season's at the crossroads, just like the Niners. So I wouldn't want to be the loser of this game on Sunday night. That's all I know. So the Niners know the importance of this game, but if they're going to stop, it's like the coach in Dallas used to say, it's not just talking the talk, it's walking the walk. You got to go out and play. And right now, they're a long ways away from that team that just narrowly lost the Super Bowl. They're nowhere near being a playoff team right now.
Talk with Greg Papa, the voice of the 49ers. Greg, you mentioned the injuries. They are a huge factor. How much of a factor, what are they going to miss out when they now know officially that Ayuk will be out?
Well, I think they're pure X wide receiver. He's the guy, the backside guy. When you need a big throw in the Green Bay playoff game on 3rd and 5, and you had to have him, you actually moved him in the slot, and he beat their nickelback, Keyshawn Nixon, and barely caught the ball. When you had to go deep down the field in the Lion game, you went to Ayuk for the BA ricochet, the touchdown right after. It's just countless plays. He's the guy. And now on top of it, I don't think they're going to have Juwan Jennings in this game, so you don't have 3rd and Juwan. So you got Debo. I think Chris Conley will play some X wide receiver in this game, but he's not the separator brand that Ayuk is. And then you'll get Ricky Pearsall more in synchronicity with Brock in the passing game and running routes. And he's so quick, but maybe he's too quick sometimes. He's got to complete his route and sell the stem and get out of it. So he'll figure it out. He's really talented, but he's a young guy. Jacob Collins, a young guy. Ronnie Bell's a young guy. George Kittle looks fine with his foot injury, and he's always had big games against Dallas. Last time he faced him at home, he had a 3-touchdown game. So, and they're not going to have Micah Parsons, it sounds like. We'll see. We've got to wait until, about 4 o'clock or so, 3:45 on Sunday to see if he's not playing. But he hasn't practiced all week off the bye with the high ankle. DeMarcus Lawrence won't play. So they've got some injuries on their side of the ball as well, but it's definitely a loss. When it's not cracking time in years past, the ball goes to Brandon Ayuk. Jennings, a lot of times on 3rd down, but almost every other situation, it's Ayuk. And it's a bad injury. It's not just an anterior cruciate ligament. It's a medial collateral ligament, and there's other stuff going down around there in that area of the right knee. So let's just hope he can make training camp at some point next year and be good to go by the season opener next year, because that's a bad injury.
Greg Papa, voice of the 49ers, with us on your home of the Niners, Sacktown Sports. Greg, I said this to our friend Matt Barrows on Monday. I've watched this team my whole life and every iteration of it, including obviously the John Lynch, Kyle Shanahan iteration. And I don't want to be the kid waiting for Santa Claus when Santa never comes. But this seems like the Niners do this every year. B, I understand this is a little bit different because of the injuries, which leads me to see, isn't this right around where the John Lynch bat signal goes out? Isn't this right around where the team with the most cap space, and I get they're saving it, but the most cap space in the entire league turns to their GM, to whether it's their Chase Young move, their Christian McCaffrey move, their Myles Garrett move, I don't know, something to reinvigorate this limping franchise. Do you expect John to be active?
Yeah, she's talking. There's no doubt. And the thing that's interesting is our last game before the deadline is Sunday. The league will play another game the week after. The deadline is election day in this country. It's a pivotal day for our nation's future and the future of the Niners and the league, November the 5th, 1 o'clock on Tuesday. So this is the last game to figure out what you need. I think you need to wait and see what you need. I mean, right now, to me, the obvious need would be linebacker upgrade. But, when is Dre Greenlaw coming back? Can they get by with D. Winters? Teams are attacking Devondre Campbell. That's pretty obvious. When is Yatura Gross-Matos going to come back? They would know more of that than I know. But I think Matos is a ways away. You're hopeful of getting McCaffrey back. I think it's conceivable Christian could play the first game back after Tampa, and then Dre would be a few weeks after that, if not into December. So, but what do you want to trade for? In 2019, and they don't do this every year, but they do it enough years. 21, they got off to a 3-5 start and turned the year around. 22, they were 3-4. They made the McCaffrey trade when they were 3-3, lost the game against Kansas City, and they flipped the year. So there's history with enough guys in the coaching staff in the locker room that let's not panic. We've been down this road before, but this is a new team. There's a lot of guys that aren't here anymore. There's new guys here. There are some that have experienced it, but they got to go out and set their own path. Whether it's John adding a few players, I don't think you're going to get Myles Garrett. Why would the Cleveland Browns trade? That's like us trading Bosa. The year he tore his ACL. Why would they? Why are they going to trade that guy? Are they going to play a season next year in Cleveland? I know they got one win, but I mean, the league is strange. Sometimes great players are traded for cap purposes, and I get that, but I don't see them trading Myles Garrett. But there's somebody you can get. John's always made moves, whether it was 19, and that year they started 8-0 and lost 3 games late and went all the way to the Super Bowl. They got Emmanuel Sanders to bring a veteran into a very young wide receiver room. That team Debo was a rookie and Kendrick Bourne was young. They needed a guy, and Emmanuel Sanders ran that post route in the Super Bowl, and Jimmy overthrew him. He was the guy. Chase Young certainly helped by the Super Bowl, but he did not play great football last year. They also landed Randy Gregory. They picked up Sebastian Joseph Day. I'm wondering about them trading, people they don't see a part of the future, which they've done. The 2020 year, they traded linebacker Quan Alexander away because they knew he wasn't going to be a part of it. It was Dre Greenlaw, Aziz Al-Shire, and obviously Fred. So, yeah, I think they'll look to add. What areas do you want to add? Let's wait and play this game Sunday. You may, I don't even want to say it, but suffered a season-altering injury at a critical position, so your needs change. I mean, right now, to me, it would be linebacker and defensive line in light of the Gravedigger injury and even an edge guy in light of the Gross-Matos injury. But would you make Charvarius Ward available? Kansas City lost Jalen Watson last game. He's a really good young corner, and they traded L'Jarius Sneed in the offseason, Dave. So they got McDuffie on one side, and he can go in the nickel, but they're going to get attacked with Jalen Watson down. Would they want to reacquire Charvarius Ward? What would they give up to do that? And the reason I bring that up is Mooney Man's contract's up after this year. How are you going to pay him next year? And then you've got other guys that are playing well. Bernardo Green's playing well. Ike Adams playing well. Obviously, D. Molinore's playing great. You've got a couple of guys that aren't playing at all. Darrell Luter Jr. and Rocky Sheen that can play more. So I think John will be active, but it could be a little bit of buying here and there and some selling here and there to prepare for next year in the offseason and the salary cap.
Greg, we all look forward to the game this weekend. Bye week next week. We're still going to get a chance to talk to you, though, next Friday to talk about this Cowboy game?
Where I'm going to be next Friday?
Where?
I'm going to be in Los Angeles, California, getting ready for, I think there will be a Game 6 of the World Series. So, yeah, we'll definitely talk next week. But it could be a little bit of let's go Yankees. Let's go Yankees.
Yeah.
Let's revive and sack. Now, I know we want to beat LA, but being A's country up there for years and Giants, they're not big Yankee fans. But which way you guys pulling? Dodger blue or pinstripes?
Well, I'm a Yankee fan, Greg, so I'm all in. I'm all in on the Yankees.
Oh, yeah,
that's right. Dave just can't root for the Dodgers, so I think
all right.
he's in on the Yankees too. So, well, thank you, Greg. Have a great call. We look forward to talking to you next Friday. And, yeah, hopefully you'll be get a chance to go to one of those games down there in the World Series. Thanks again.
And I want to hear more of your trip to Great Britain, Dave. Next week we got to catch up on that one. Good to have you back, brother.
All right. Thank you, brother. Take care. That's Greg Papa, voice of the San Francisco 49ers. We will take a quick break. When we return, we'll get the final thoughts on opening night, what stood out most. We got the Lakers coming up tomorrow, 3 in the key for the Kings as well. Jason Ross, and then we have what to watch, Pick 6, celebrity birthdays, Friday fun and games. Jason, do we have enough time for all of this?
We're going to find it.
Okay. We'll do all that right after this.
Subscribe to Sacktown Sports on YouTube and watch the Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross, Stiles and Watkins, and the Drive Guys. Live Monday through Friday from 6 to 6. Plus view archive shows and exclusive content.
Subscribe at youtube.com/Sacktown Sports.
Hey, it's Carmichael Dave for American Energy Heating and Air with a question. Have you recently had a technician diagnose your HVAC system and you were a bit surprised at how much it cost? Or did something seem off about their quote? Because at American Energy, they take pride in giving you honest, straightforward solutions to get that system up and running. Have their qualified technicians come out and give you a free second opinion. It's free. You got nothing to lose but some dollars off of that original quote. They're making the uncomfortable comfortable. They've been doing it since 1981, serving the greater Sacramento area. A+ with the Better Business Bureau. That's why they keep having customers coming back for more and more and more. You can call them and set that appointment at 916-520-9990. That's 916-520-9990 or AmericanEnergyAir.com.
916-520-9990 now. All guests come to you from the Folsom Lake Honda Hotline. Folsom Lake Honda, your one-stop Honda shop.
The Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross.
Call or text at 916-339-1140.
On Sacktown Sports.
We was rusty with a lot of things. The effort was there. We competed. We moved the ball. Once we get that rhythm with one another, I think everything fit in perfectly. Understanding what guys like the ball, get to their spots, everything. But for the most part, I'm happy how aggressive we was, how we competed. It just sucks we didn't get the victory.
All right, Dave, that was DeMar DeRozan last night. He ended up leading the Kings in scoring in his debut. He had 26. Good balance. Sabonis, 24. Keegan, a double-double, 23. He had 17 off the bench from Monk, 15 from Fox. But not enough. 2-point win for the Timberwolves.
Yep, not enough. And what does DeMar DeRozan know, right? He says everything's going to be fine. I mean, what does DeMar know?
It's time to panic.
Right. Look, it's one game, but it's also one game preceded by 5 preseason games, preceded by a play-in loss, which I don't think anyone's really worried about. But it has been a long time since we've seen the Sacramento Kings with more points at the end of 4 quarters than their opponent. And there are some worries about this team, not the least withstanding the fact that the Western Conference around them is very, very good. There's worries about DeMar DeRozan's fit. There's worries about Kevin Huerter's health. There's worries as far as who should start, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. So I think there are some legitimate worries. But also it's just one game, and there were signs, Jason, if we're being optimistic, there were signs that this team could be something very, very cool. And by the way, they weren't playing against the Pistons last night either.
Yeah, no, exactly. I mean, look, if we're looking at that as what Minnesota was last year, what we think they'll be this year, what they were defensively, they've kind of been a known commodity there. I think the problems the Kings had scoring at times was more self-inflicted. Few turnovers, but not a high number, only 9. I took it more as shot selection and kind of shot rhythm, and maybe you got to give some credit to Minnesota for that. But yeah, I'm with you. I think there are these questions that are out there, I think have all been more than fair on the Kings. And part of it was the way they performed in the preseason. Part of it was 2 very important pieces to the puzzle, and Lyles and Huerter, wherever they start or bench, wherever they come in, they're going to play. And so incorporating them, DeRozan incorporating a high volume minute, high usage type player into the mix. I think, again, more of it was good, but it's not to the point where that does you anything because you lost. I mean, there's still a loss there. That's what's being tracked, is they are 0-1. But I think inside the game, there are minutes they can build upon, but you don't want to go backwards in some of these other things. And so tighten up a few things, and I think they'll be on their way. But this league shows you the next game they could be awful, they could be great, and you just really don't know. The matchup will be different because they play the Lakers, so it's a night to night thing, and that's why it's all a big journey that you kind of have to go through this roller coaster.
All right. Well, we got a couple minutes left, and we do turn around. That's the beauty of the NBA season, is you don't have to sit there and wallow through a loss forever, unless, of course, you lose to the Pelicans in the play-in. So we're not in that situation. We got the Lakers coming up, which I believe, Jason, means that's another day of 3 in the key.
Let's do it. That's tomorrow, but yeah. But since we'll be back on Monday talking about that Kings-Lakers game, whether the Kings are 1-1 or 0-2, we will have some results in our next prediction. So this one is kind of slanted to what we saw after one game. The Minnesota Timberwolves yesterday, Dave, hit 20 3-pointers. So today's first prediction in 3 in the key, Lakers made threes. Keep in mind, they did not make very many in their first game against the Timberwolves. They also do play tonight at home against Phoenix. So it'll be a second night of a back-to-back. But Lakers made threes. What is your prediction?
I'll say 19.
Okay. I'm going to go with 11. Chris?
I'm going to go with 9.
18, 11, and 9. All right. Another theme from the first game of the season was on the positive side for the Kings. 35 free throw attempts. 14 of them went to DeMar DeRozan. I think he was 1 of 3 and then finished 12 of 14. So, Dave, we're looking at DeMar DeRozan free throw attempts.
Well, it's in LA, so they're not going to get any calls, of course, because the refs are crooked. But some of them will be so obvious that they won't be able to pass it up. I'm going to say give me 10, just an even 10 for DeMar DeRozan.
Okay, I went lower than you as well, or lower than he did, and I went a little lower than you. I went with 8.
I'm going to go with the same one,
12. Okay, yeah. And then random stat, guys. Something different, Dave, odd, weird, a stat or a note or something quirky that may happen in the game.
LeBron James and LeBron James Jr. will become the all-time leading father-son scoring duo, Jason.
And you can't do that.
I will say
there's a lot on that.
You know what? I will say this. Bronny James will get his first NBA points.
Okay.
Wow, that is shocking.
Yes. I'm going to go with Keegan Murray. Will have his second straight double-double. He had one last night. He's going to go for 2 in a row. Chris?
I'm going to say Sabonis gets back on the rebound train, and he will have 12 and a half or more. I mean, he'll have 13 or more.
13 or more rebounds. Okay. There we go. We took our time. We were in the key for 3 seconds, and now we're out.
Rebound train. The rebound train.
Yeah, I don't know what that is.
I don't know either.
Toot.
But I kind of like it.
I think that's something if you're in a relationship for a long time. And nope, that's something else. All right, we'll take a break. Jason, go ahead.
Yes. We have got another jam-packed segment. What to watch, pick 6, and celebrity birthdays, and maybe a rebound train. Who knows? That's all coming up on Sacktown Sports.
The only place you'll find Kevin Herter is Sacktown Sports.
Herter's open, steps into 3. He's got the triple.
Hey, Sacramento, it's Kevin Herter, and you're listening to the home of the Sacramento Kings, Sacktown Sports.
Your local sports leader.
Sacramento weather is brought to you by Folsom Lake Kia.
I'm Dirk Fedorn in the KCRA3 Weather Center, and we are going to see a few clouds this morning, but expect to have clouds decreasing this afternoon with temperatures warming into the lower 80s. Get the latest forecasts on the KCRA3 News and the KCRA3 app.
DC here for Folsom Lake Kia, where they make car shopping easy with a huge selection of new Kia models, low payments, and 0 down deals with approved credit. Folsom Lake Kia, your trusted dealer in Folsom for over 25 years. FolsomLakeKia.com.
Some people just know they could save hundreds on car insurance by checking Allstate first. Like to check the propane tank on your grill first before hosting a tailgate.
Let's fire up. Here, let me try. Seriously? You didn't check the propane? Who wants chips?
Yeah, checking first is smart. So check Allstate first for a quote that could save you hundreds.
Salt and vinegar?
You're in good hands with Allstate.
Savings vary, subject to terms, conditions, and availability. Allstate Fire and Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates, Northbrook, Illinois.
Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm.
Do you find yourself stuck in a timeshare? Get the real facts about the timeshare industry and your options for cancellation. Chuck McDowell, founder of Wesley Financial Group, has put together a free information guide that reveals the secrets the timeshare industry doesn't want you to know, including the 5 ways to get rid of your timeshare. Call now and get this timeshare cancellation guide absolutely free.
Call 800-330-2929. 800-330-2929. 800-330-2929.
At Fisher Investments, we may seem like other money managers, but we're different.
What makes you so different than the rest of us?
We ensure clients receive unparalleled service at every step of the relationship.
Tell me more.
Our investment counselors focus on service over sales, prioritizing clients' needs.
How do you make money?
We don't sell any commission-based products. We have a simple management fee based on the value of our client's portfolio. So we do better when our clients do better.
What about client portfolios?
We get to know each client, their finances, family, health, lifestyle, and more, and then we tailor a portfolio based on their specific goals and needs.
Your clients really come first then, huh?
Yes, we make them a top priority. Our goal is helping them achieve a comfortable retirement.
Wow, maybe we are different.
At Fisher Investments, we're clearly different. Learn more at FisherInvestments.com.
Investing in securities involves the risk of loss.
It's Capital Casino, Sacramento's #1 poker room, and guess what? Primetime football is back. Capital Casino is giving away $500 per game in high hand bonuses for every Sunday, Monday, and Thursday night primetime game. As always, offering the best food, the best service, and the best action with the most variety of games in the region, conveniently located in downtown Sacramento. So check them out, Capital Casino, and always remember to gamble responsibly. 1-800-GAMBLER.
When an overwhelmed injury victim calls Ashton or Price, we immediately remove their legal burden and introduce them to the very best medical care in the region. They focus on their health, and we handle all the rest. When they reach the end of their medical journey and are reunited with happiness and hope, we unleash our decades of legal experience to obtain maximum compensation. We are real, local, experienced litigators and snappy dressers too. Consultation's free, and there's never a fee until we win.
Remember, for the best advice, don't think twice. Call Ashton and Price.
Don't you deserve healthcare you can count on? Well, you can count on United Healthcare with Medicare plans that fit your life today and as your needs change tomorrow. You can enjoy reliable coverage and low out-of-pocket costs with a Medicare Advantage plan from United Healthcare. United Healthcare Medicare Advantage plans, made for California, trusted everywhere. The Medicare annual enrollment period ends December 7th, so go to uhc.com/Medicare today.
Hello, I'm Frank Cock with Retirement Security Centers of the Weekly Economic Update. Good news can be bad news, and bad news can be good news. Well, no news can be important news. The good news, the economy seems to be steady and growing. The bad news is it may be taming expectations of more near-term rate cuts, with expectations of 2 more rate cuts in 2024 down to 69%. This sentiment has sent bond yields climbing, which is good news for fixed income investors, but bad news for other investors as increasing yields can increase the cost of capital, which can be a negative for economic growth. We are nearly 2 weeks away from the presidential election, so there's no news there. The lack of news is giving some investors anxiety, which is bad news. A Betterment study shows that only 26% of respondents state that they are excited about the upcoming election. 32% of investors with portfolios of $1 million or more are excited, and those with less than 100,000 invested are only 16% excited. 35% of those polled use the word anxious to describe how they feel. Hopefully, when there is news about the election results, anxiety reduces, and we watch the evening news, waiting for some new news about what to be anxious about next. How might this affect you or your family? Please go to frankontheradio.com to schedule an appointment, watch videos, receive market updates. I'm ready to help you start your journey so you can define your future.
Securities and investment advisory services offered through Osaic FA Incorporated, member FINRA SIPC. Osaic FA is separately owned, and other entities and/or marketing names, products, or services referenced here are independent of Osaic FA.
The first big sale of the year on the all-new 2025 Silverado is on at Maida Chevy. With $8,000 off MSRP after rebates, every new 2025 half-ton LT, RST, LTZ, and High Country in stock at Maida Chevy. And Maida Chevy has the largest selection of new 2025 Silverados in the Sacramento area. $8,000 off new 2025 Silverado at Maida Chevy. Now that's big, huge. MaidaChevy.com. Together, let's drive.
Not available with special financing lease and some other offers. 103124. Source internet search and 1724.
Capital Casino, conveniently located on 411th North 16th Street in downtown Sacramento.
Waking you up with the best in local sports.
They just make it interesting, you know?
It's the Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross
on Sacktown Sports.
All right, we will have celebrity birthdays in just a moment. I We got Carmichael Dave in New York, Jason Ross here in our studios in Sacramento, Sacktown Sports. What to watch? Let's see, Dave. We got choices. World Series Game 1 tonight, Yankees and Dodgers. Dave, a big Yankees fan for this week.
Huge.
You could do some scouting if you'd like, as the Suns are at the Lakers. We know the Kings play the Lakers tomorrow.
I'll scout.
Okay. I'm not sure you'll want to watch this, but it's an option. UNLV hosts number 17 Boise State. Some college football if you'd like tonight.
Oh, is that at Boise State?
No, it's at UNLV. So you won't see the blue turf.
Oh, no. Yeah, I want to see the blue turf. So
yeah,
it's Boise.
All right, screw that.
Boise.
I think it's Boise.
Or you can play. What was it? Diver Dave?
Oh, Dave the Diver.
Dave the Diver.
The Diver.
It is also spooky season. I went and saw The Substance the other night. Fantastic horror movie. And Azrael is on Shudder, which I'm going to be watching this weekend.
Did any of that make sense to you, Dave?
Honestly, I've been around a lot of foreign languages lately, and that sounded more foreign than any of them. I understood like 3 words.
Chris, didn't you say the movie you watched the other day that scared, like you covered your eyes a lot?
The Substance, I covered my eyes more than I did when I saw Terrifier 3.
And you love horror movies, and you cover your eyes.
Yeah.
Wait, hold on.
Exactly.
Hold on. Chris, you watch horror movies and you cover your eyes?
I watch horror movies to get scared.
But you probably want to see the scare, right?
Huh?
Or is it scarier by not seeing it?
No, it's like when it's. I don't know how much I want to go into detail on this.
All the detail, Chris.
Yeah,
go into all
time.
the detail, please.
When a fingernail is being pulled off, like I don't want to see that.
Okay.
No, I'm with you. I'm with you on that. I don't want to see gross stuff.
Are you looking through your fingers?
It's like one of those where you get like you're not watching completely, but you've got like a little bit of side vision to where it's like, okay, I think it's done with this.
You're
part of the
testing?
scene. Yeah.
Okay, I'm with you on the whole. Like, I don't like the Saw movies, and I don't like fingernails being. I'm with you. I'm with you. Like, I can take a chainsaw, like decapitating somebody over like a fingernail, because it's not like it's
real.
super not real. Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. So like, but here's my thing. Like, the scary movies I like are the ones that are like spooky chills, like, oh my god, she's gonna turn around and the guy's gonna be there. Wait, she turned around, he's not there, but now he's behind her. Like, I like those.
Yes.
Are you a finger peeker for those?
No.
Dave, do you we've already experienced going to movies with Chris, which is fun. I don't like horror movies, but would it be worth it for you and I to go see a horror movie with him?
So the most embarrassing moment I ever had was at a horror movie. I went to go see Hereditary by myself. Packed
Did you crap your
crowd.
pants?
No, I wish I did.
I wish.
So it's packed. If anyone's ever seen Hereditary, there's a scene with the daughter that is very shocking when it happens. That when it happened, I just turned my head really quick and I yelled and I closed my eyes. And
Wait, you screamed?
Yes, like the whole audience screamed. But like I turned my head and screamed, and when I opened my eyes, I was like looking directly at a stranger next to me. So for the rest of the movie, I'm like, I am so sorry. I'm really sorry that I did that. I didn't mean to do that.
Oh my goodness.
I thought King's Rewind was gonna be my favorite segment.
I think we ought to go to a movie with him, a horror movie.
Yes, 100%. But we have to make sure it's a good, like it's an actual horror movie, not one of these newfangled dumb horror movies. Like, give me something like The Shining or that one with Sarah Michelle Gellar where she's in Japan and the
Have you not seen Hereditary?
No, I haven't seen Hereditary.
Oh, give that one a whirl.
Is it gross? I don't want gross.
There are gross parts, but that's not the overall movie, if that makes sense.
Oh, I've got it, guys. Let's watch let's go to a movie theater if we can find it showing, and let's watch a what do you call it when a mashup of all the Kings Pelicans games last year.
That's horror.
Scary.
Chris, my goodness. All right, let's go to are we doing pick 6 or celebrity birthdays?
Let's go pick 6.
Pick 6. All right. Niners, Cowboys, Sunday night. Hooah! Dave, first 49ers score.
First 49ers score. I'm going back to it. Give me a juicy touchdown.
Use check. I'm going to go with Mason. Chris?
I am going to go with Kittle.
All right. Halftime score. Dave?
Halftime score. 14-10 Niners.
Okay. I have 14-14. Chris?
13-10 Niners.
Okay. We're all in the same general area. Purdy yards and touchdowns.
Brock Purdy, 285, 2 touchdowns.
I've got 247 and 1. Chris?
265 and 1.
Okay. San Francisco's leading receiver. Dave?
I know it won't be Ronnie Bell. Give me George Kittle. Whatever.
How many yards?
George Kittle with 85 yards.
Whoa. I had written mine down already. Kittle, 86.
Yeah, that's exactly what I was going to pick. I'm going to say Kittle, 92.
Okay. We're all over that. Final score, Dave.
Final score. Sorry, guys. I gotta pull it out. Wait.
Hello.
You know what I mean? Hi.
Didn't I get in trouble earlier this week?
Chris, cover your eyes. Cowboys 35, Niners 31.
All right. I've got 28-23 San Francisco.
Niners 2017.
20-17 San Francisco. All right. And then Dave, random stat. Random something weird.
Random stat. Brock Purdy rushing touchdown.
Purdy rush TD. I've got Brock Purdy's going to catch a pass. Chris?
Ricky Pearsall will get a touchdown.
Oh, that'd be awesome. I hope that happens.
I like that one.
I like that one a lot. All right, we got a sprint to the finish here with celebrity birthdays. Birthdays are meant to be spent with family and friends, and nothing brings family and friends together quite like crumble cookies. All right, Dave and Chris, on this date, October 25th, in what year was the movie Halloween originally aired? The first one.
Of course, Chris is going to get this, but I'll say 1983.
1979.
Chris is closer, 1978. All right, happy birthday, guys, today to Katy Perry.
Let me firework. Katy Perry is 34.
Big 4-0.
We have an exact answer. Katy Perry is 40. Christopher Laud on fire. How about Ciara? Ciara. Russell Wilson's wife.
Is she the one with the hair that you never see her face?
That's Sia.
The singer. Oh, Ciara.
Yeah.
Era. She is 34.
42.
Chris is closer, 39. Happy birthday to hopeful World Series star Juan Soto.
Juan Soto is 28.
29.
Carmichael Dave is closer. He's 26 today.
Ooh.
Happy birthday to Craig Robinson.
Oh, I thought you were going to say Craig T. Nelson.
Craig Robinson. Had him on the show a while back. He is one of my all-time favorite interviews. Yeah, he was doing some publicity thing. We happened to get him. Craig Robinson is 49.
51.
Chris is closer, 53.
Ooh.
Happy birthday to Pedro Martinez.
Oh. Pedro Martinez is also 49.
He is 47.
Dave is closer. He is also, like Craig Robinson, 53.
Wow.
All right. Rapid fire. James Carvell.
76.
The political guy?
Yeah.
Oh, what did you say, Chris?
76.
76. He is 75.
Oh, wrong way. 80 for James Carville. And then last one, Xander Schauffele, golfer Xander Schauffele.
Everybody
29.
Schauffele. He is 28.
Chris is closer, 31. Xander Schauffele.
I
All right.
don't like the heater Chris has been on lately, so let's figure that out. We
will figure it out. He just kind of peeks through his fingers and figures out these names and birthdays. All right, break time for us. We'll finish out the week in style with Friday Fun and Games next.
The NFL's leading rusher plays here.
A handoff to McCaffrey, walks in the end zone. Handoff to McCaffrey, takes it right down to the goal line. He does his thing again. McCaffrey goes in motion right. Backwards pass led by Juszczyk. A block there. Hurdles a man. 10, 5, touchdown! CMC!
You can hear all of Christian McCaffrey's touchdowns on your home for 49ers football. Sacktown Sports.
Golf to Go is brought to you by the Hagen Oaks Golf Super Shop. Here's Frank LaRosa.
According to Dave Pells, most golfers don't allow for enough break on putts. During your next round, mark your scorecard whether you missed putts above the hole with an A or below the hole with a B. If you have more Bs, add more break until you have an equal number of A and B misses, and you'll make more putts. Ernie L. says bombing the driver on a par 5 might not always be the best strategy. Rather, you should get yourself to your ideal shot distance to the green. So if that's 120 yards, then for a 500-yard hole, you need shots of 200 and 180 yards. There are lots of ways to play a hole. Bobby Jones said a leading difficulty with the average player is that they totally misunderstand what is meant by concentration. They may think they're concentrating when they are merely worrying. Jones and all the great players knew that the game is played in the 6 inches between your ears. If that's your Golf to Go, I'm Frank LaRosa.
At Elk Grove Honda, not only do we have a great selection of pre-owned certified cars at very fair prices, but every one of our pre-owned automobiles are treated with kid gloves with a 182-point inspection that covers everything from unibody to tires to brakes and engine filters. Then our certified cars receive a mobile oil change and fresh fill-up with full synthetic mobile oil. We know you have lots of choices of where to purchase your next car. Come to Elk Grove Honda, home of the 182-point inspection and mobile oil change. We're in the Elk Grove Auto Mall, Highway 99 at Elk Grove Boulevard.
Don't let summer energy slip away. Live the active life you love year-round with a personally fit arch support system from the Good Feet store. Precision engineered to support all 4 arches. Good Feet puts your feet in a more ideal, comfortable, and pain-free position. And Good Feet arch supports are now HSA and FSA eligible. Book a free fitting at goodfeet.com or come in and get a free pair of OS First Performance socks. Free. Normally a $25 value at the Good Feet store.
Hi. I'm Justin Gingery from the law firm of Gingery, Hammer & Associates. When you have been injured by the fault of another, you will want advice you can trust. If you know an attorney you can trust, I hope you call that person. But if you don't, please call me. I promise I will be the attorney you can trust, along with my entire team. I have been helping accident survivors recover compensation for their injuries for 25 years, and we can help you. There is no charge for calling. If you have an injury, just call Gingery.
Despite having no experience, Gavin Newsom made Jessica Morse his, quote, wildfire specialist. The result? Under Newsom and Morse, insurance rates and utility bills skyrocketed. Millions of dollars were slashed from the state's fire prevention budget. And they were even caught lying about their record, while millions of acres burned and families lost their homes. Now Gavin has chosen Jessica Morse again, this time to run for Congress. We have a better choice. Kevin Kiley. As our congressman, Kevin Kiley has worked across party lines to secure millions for wildfire protection and expand water supplies. And Kevin Kiley's bill to protect Lake Tahoe will bring up to $415 million home to our district to reduce the threat of fires and restore the ecosystem of the lake, delivering results and making a difference. Let's keep Kevin Kiley working for us.
I'm Kevin Kiley. I approve this message. Paid for by Kevin Kiley for Congress.
It's 4th and goal. The pressure's on. The home team needs this to win it. No matter what you're up against, it's always a win at Northern California's #1 Honda dealer, Stockton Honda. Special finance options and trade-in offers make it easier than ever to upgrade your ride. Because at Stockton Honda, we believe everyone deserves a winning deal.
Anytime, anywhere, it's all here. StocktonHonda.com.
#1 claims based on 2023 total new and Honda certified pre-owned vehicle car sales from American Honda Motor Company. L1 report.
We have finally made it to Friday.
Let's end your week the right way with Friday Fun and Games
On the Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross.
Yeah. Here we go. We made it. End of the week. Yeah.
I'm so glad Dave isn't here to mess with my thing. I was telling you. Well, yeah.
Gross.
To mess with my
What you guys do on that side of the table.
Chris and I have no idea what's goes on.
No, to mess with my plug-in because I was telling you I haven't found one that fits perfectly. So Dave thinks he's just being annoying, but I actually can't hear half the time in crosstalk, which is why I'm so bad at celebrity birthdays. I don't know who it is.
Oh, okay.
And tell him, Chris, I was nailing them.
Nailed
Juan Soto.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah, because we're on in the hallway now, right?
Yeah. For now.
Yeah,
Yeah.
for now.
It's a rotation.
Yeah. But it used to be, I thought it changed like hourly. Now I think it's like on us
on
for a
all
while.
day, all day. Makes me feel
They change it when we come on.
Yeah.
And then they change it back.
I'm guessing you guys get quite a few things to talk about today.
Man,
too many things, honestly.
4 hours does not seem like
apparently
enough.
you guys do too.
Yeah.
All right. Well, we do have to go quickly, apparently. So yeah, stay tuned. I'm sure, obviously, big football weekend. Obviously, recap of the game last night coming up. But let's do it, guys. You ready for some Friday fun and games?
I'm ready. I'm hot.
He's hot. All right. Here we go. We've played this before. We'll see how we do on this one. It's simple. It's called the name game.
Okay.
We're going to start with the name. Dave, you're going to go first. I've chosen it.
Oh.
Is that you,
What?
Dave, or me? Is that you, Dave, or me?
I'm here.
Now we're getting
Every time Nate walks in there.
What? I'm here.
You don't hear
the StreamYard.
Yeah, we're getting some
Can you
feedback.
not
Hang
hear
on a
me?
second. Feedback. No, we hear you. But we hear us twice.
Nate.
You don't get
That's
the echo?
2 days in a row. No, I'm not. It sounds perfect to me.
Okay.
That's weird.
But you're getting an echo.
$1,000,000%.
Well, we're hearing us on from your line. Maybe sign out and then come back in.
Yeah, I'll sign out and come back in. Okay. Go ahead.
All right. So Dave will jump back into rotation. It is the name game. Yeah. See, we're good right now.
There we go.
Okay. We'll see if Dave can jump back in. Alan, I'll start with you. We start with the name. I'm going to choose a name that honestly has a good first name to go off of or a good last name to go off of. And you just have to keep the name going. We're trying to use, we'll go sports. If you get a actor, celebrity, whatever.
Terry Taylor, Taylor Swift.
Correct.
Yes.
Okay.
And then DeAndre Swift.
All right, let's try this again with Dave.
Or Josh Terry or whatever. You got the feedback, Dave. Dave.
Gotta go.
All right. See you Monday.
All right.
Sorry, Dave.
Sorry, Dave.
All
Thank
right.
you.
Love
Dave.
you.
Thank you.
Screw you, Nate.
All right. Poor Nate. All right. So we got it. So if it was like Chris Paul is where we're going to start. Chris, do you have the music? I know you're doing 100 things in there. There we go. So you can go off Chris. You can go off Paul. We need a first name. You go last name. There's no just keep the line moving. Alan, you start the name game with Chris Paul.
Paul George.
Okay. Oh, and you gave us another one that's so versatile.
Let's continue it. George Michael.
George Michael. Okay, we're accepting anything here.
Anything, right?
Yeah, we're good. Chris?
Michael Madsen.
Michael Madsen. Okay, so now we're going off of Michael or Madsen.
Michael Jordan.
Michael Jordan. We're just flowing right along.
DeAndre Jordan. Sorry.
Oh,
Sorry, Chris.
Little switch up. Get to your Jordans unless you
Or
know
DeAndre.
DeAndre Hopkins.
Yes.
Oh,
yes, Chris.
uh-oh.
Oh, boy.
Uh-oh. Slimming down the pool here. DeAndre Hopkins to Alan Stiles to start round 3.
DeAndre. Don't know.
Anybody else?
DeAndre Carter. DeAndre Swift.
Oh, wow. Look at that. Okay. We're going to restart. We'll start up. We'll start a new one. Start a new chain. We ended there. Chris, you'll go first, and we're going to start with let's go with the name Michael Phelps. I don't know. We're back on Michael.
Okay.
Sorry.
Michael Burner Turner.
Michael Turner.
Michael Myers.
Nice.
Okay.
I'll keep it back to sports. Oh, Michael Johnson.
Oh, yes. Oh, good one.
Favorite track stars.
Gold cleat, gold shoes. Michael Johnson.
Eddie Johnson.
Eddie Johnson. Here we go. Now we're going to get on a roll.
Eddie Murphy.
There we go.
Oh, Eddie Murphy. Or Murphy?
Yes. Trey Murphy.
Trey
There
Murphy.
we go.
There we go.
Whew. Whew.
Oh,
Got
here we
through
go.
it. Trey Murphy.
Trey Lyles.
Trey Lyles.
Trey Parker.
Trey Parker.
This guy needs an opportunity. Trey Lance.
Oh, wow. I thought we were going to go to Parker.
Okay.
Trey
Ooh,
Lance.
Trey Turner.
Trey Turner.
Wait, didn't you already use him?
No, I used Michael Burner Turner.
Oh. So I have to use Trey or Turner.
Yeah.
Ted Turner.
Ooh.
Ted Lasso.
I think that counts.
We're going with it. We're going with it.
Sorry.
Teddy Roosevelt.
There we go.
Teddy Roosevelt.
Franklin Roosevelt.
Oh, yeah.
Frank Kaminsky.
Nice.
Franklin Cardicelli.
We break the boom.
Frank Thomas.
There we go.
Nice. The big hurt.
We don't know if he still plays.
And she'll like it too. Anyway.
That's right. Yeah. She's always like,
The big hurt.
Yo, that's crazy. We were just talking about this guy. I don't know if he is still in the NFL. Michael Thomas.
Oh, there we go. Good work, guys.
Let's see here. We did Michael Johnson. We did Michael Jordan. Yeah. We'll do Isaiah Thomas the King.
Okay.
Thomas Robinson.
Oh,
Glenn Robinson III.
Nice.
There we go. Glenn Robinson the second. No. So let's see here. You said Thomas Robinson.
And then it's to Glenn Robinson.
Oh, Glenn.
Right?
Oh, geez. Is there any Glens?
Yeah. The little.
I mean, I think you're right with Glenn Robinson.
What do you eat?
Okay, Glenn Robinson the second, I think is fine.
Glenn Jacobs.
Glenn Rice.
Oh,
That's why I was trying to show
Jerry
you the
Rice.
rice. Trying to show you the rice.
Jerry Seinfeld.
There we go. Ooh.
Jerry Jones.
Ooh. John Jones.
Jonathan Taylor Thomas. I give you just three.
Yeah, exactly.
That's good.
You have Taylor Thomas.
You know what? That's
Thomas
good.
Jefferson.
Okay, that's
There
a
we
good
go.
spot to end.
Wow.
We end right there. Good work, guys. You guys did great on that.
Yeah.
Styles
Dave
and
could
Watkins are coming up next. They've got so much to discuss. Keep it right here to Sacktown Sports.
Domantas Sabonis plays here.
He finds Sabonis. Put the frosting on